All right, folks, we're back here on the day of Double or Nothing 2020. It was Mr. Marceau's idea just a couple weeks back to do a watch-along for AEW Double or Nothing 2019, which we had the pleasure of being in attendance for. We were going to try to make this a live stream. YouTube was just being just terrible on Wednesday. This is probably going up on Saturday. I'm looking as white as it goes because I'm sitting outside as I record this. Mr. Marceau looking just like an absolute savage as always.
Looking pristine right now.
As we're wearing the same shirt, we're twinning with the shirt we got at Double or Nothing. So we're going to get started here. No time wasted. It's a 3-hour and 47-minute show, so we'll be done by the evening here. If you want to watch the show, you can watch it along with us on BR Live. Even though I write for the website and I get all the other events free, I didn't get Double or Nothing for free for some reason. So we had to dish out $15 in total in order to watch the show. But we're at the 2-minute and 35-second mark, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So on 3, we're gonna press play. We're gonna get this thing started, okay?
All
right. 1, 2, 3.
Cody and the Young Bucks are on fire.
You fucking bitch.
I'm doing this. You good or no?
No, it's not going. Wait. I'm at 237.
I'm at 243 right now.
And press play now.
Jericho and him fighting right now.
Yep. Perfect.
Now Brandy's annoying voice.
Got the opening montage. Honestly, dude, I don't remember this at all. The opening montage for the show.
Yeah, I don't really remember this at all.
It was your idea to skip over the first few minutes, which what was the Star Spangled Banner or something?
Just the national anthem, yeah.
We can skip over the nonsense.
Yeah, now I'm getting like the beginning. It showing the chips and stuff.
The set was actually amazing. We're gonna see that in a second. Oh no, wait, we didn't miss this part. I didn't miss the beginning of the pay-per-view. I just missed the buy-in because I went to go buy the shirts.
No, I think you just missed the first match in the buy-in. You saw the Battle Royal, right?
Yeah, I didn't see the Battle Royal either. I had to watch that from the line.
Jesus Christ, there's me marking out.
We had great seats too, because at the MGM Grand in Vegas, like there's not a bad seat in the house because it's a relatively new arena.
It's not even relatively. I'm pretty sure it's an old arena, just so small.
Is it really?
It's like 10,000 people.
They didn't renovate it or anything?
I don't remember. I don't think so. But I think they used to run Halloween Havoc out of there. It's the same kind of.
What'd you say?
I know they used to run WCW shows out of there, and I think it's the same size.
Huh. Well, either way, it's a great arena. I would definitely.
Perfect. Like I like the nice small one, so you're not in like a bad seat.
That and when we went to. Oh wait, you weren't there for the first one, but there was like 3 weekends in a row last year where Alexis and I and her brother we went to Money in the Bank in Hartford, which would have been 1 year ago yesterday. As we record this, was on from the 19th. The following weekend, I was in Vegas with you, and then you came over to Connecticut for Takeover 25. It was pretty crazy, like a couple back-to-back weeks there.
Yeah, exactly. We literally 1 week we were in Vegas, next weekend I drove to Connecticut. If only the week after something was in Boston, you drove there. It'd be a nice, absolute nightmare.
You?
If you drove, if like the next show after that was in Boston, then you came up for that one.
Oh, for the Dynamite. So that was just as crazy because that was on Wednesday, October 9th, which was the second episode of Dynamite. Alexis and I were in Salem literally like 3 days before, like on like 3 or 4 days before, I think on the Saturday. And I'm like, man, do we go up on Saturday? Like, I wanted to go to Salem, but we also wanted to go to the show. And by that point, we knew we were going to the show with you. But I wanted to go to Salem, too. So I'm like, you know what? I'll make the trek up there. We'll come back, and then we'll go back to go see RJ. So that's what we did. And then on the way to Salem, though, the funny thing is, we saw the fucking AEW truck on the highway. And we were like,
I'm pretty sure you sent me like a picture of that.
Yeah, Alexis, I think I was driving, so she took the picture. This is when you sat on your hand
coming out right now.
What'd you say?
SCU's coming out right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they haven't really been on the show recently. I mean, yeah, not really.
No, I think they were one of the people that was out in quarantine, I think.
No, if they went back to California, then yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. I think the edict was like, if you're from California or New York, Like they don't want you at the tapings, or like you can choose not to come, or I don't know, something like that. Like they'd recommend people from those areas to not go. I mean,
Yeah. Remember Alec Marvez? He was so bad.
dude, he was terrible. Okay, he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't good at all. Like you knew as soon as we didn't watch them, we were there, but when I watched back the show the next day, and I never really, at this point, I don't really go back and watch shows that we were at unless it was like an amazing show, and this was a damn good show. It wasn't like the second coming of Jesus as other people were making it out to be, but it was still a good show. But I did watch it back, and I noticed Alex Marvez, and I'm like, wow, he's so abysmal. He's putrid. Like, I got a bum the guy.
That was not good.
Worst town
I've ever
been in. That's the shirt that I wore that night.
Yeah, we know.
I went back into the merch line twice. You're like, hey, can you get a double or nothing shirt? I'm like, yeah, sure. Wait in line for the entire fucking battle royal. Missed the whole battle royal. And I come back with 2 AEW shirts. And you're like, were there no double or nothing shirts? And I'm like, no, they didn't have any. Then I forgot what happened. I don't think it was your idea, because I was the one getting it, so it was probably my idea. I'm like, I'll just go check the other merch line. So I waited another half an hour in another line on the other side of the building to get the shirts that we're wearing right now, and the double or nothing one, the other blue one that I own. I think I spent like
Realistically, we should have just gotten them at the what the hell's it
Pro
called?
Wrestling Tees.
The fan fest they had.
Oh,
Starcade.
Starcast, yeah.
Starcade seemed different. Starcast, yeah,
going
we should have gotten there. Remember we were at the meet and greets and they had like the merchandise stand there, and we're like, we'll just get them later. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, but then I remember someone buying the last one before I was about to get it. They're like, oh, you just bought the last one? I'm like, fuck. For the shirt that I wanted, I have the blue one that says double or nothing. I mean, I like this one too, but
Yeah.
this is more of like an event shirt.
The fucking strong hearts.
Shima
People
really
marking
hasn't
out
been
for
on the
these
show at all.
guys, I had no idea who they were.
No clue.
I don't even think they even do they even still have that like deal with that company like OEE or something, OWE?
They made a big deal about it, and then they never really mentioned it again. They've been on the show a couple of times. I know Shima has teamed up with Christopher Daniels. But
Yeah, not recently.
no, not recently. I mean, not since the COVID thing, but even before that, he was on the show a bunch. But the other two haven't been on the show at all. So they were making a big deal, like, oh, OWE, like this big relationship, like it's our NXT, and then you don't see any of them, but it's fine.
Don't even remember this guy with the blonde hair and the Speedo. Couldn't even tell you what the fuck his name is.
I thought there was Cody Rhodes for a second. From the back. One of them's name is T-Hawk, I think, and I don't know the other one. I don't know the other guy's name.
Wow, be a better fan.
I know.
I'll
We'll
look
talk
it
about
up.
the Joshi match later, but like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is what women's wrestling is supposed to be. I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit at all.
Yeah, that was pretty perplexing. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know anyone in the match, so I was like,
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but no one. I had no reason to care, personally. It
El
wasn't like the rest of
Lindaman. I think El Lindaman's the guy with the blonde hair.
There you go. Mr. Marceau doing his research.
Yeah, El Lindaman's the guy with the blonde hair.
That's funny. What you eating over there, Mr. Marceau?
Besides Shida and Riho, I don't even think really any of those women are still even in the company from that Joshi match.
Yumi Sakura, remember she went for the title at the, the All Out? Not All Out. Full Gear show, and we have not seen her since. She may have been on one other Dynamite, but that was about it. That was the Freddie Mercury girl.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't a fan.
and Riho we haven't seen since basically she dropped the title, so.
Mm-hmm. I like Shida a lot, though. We talked about that on the Wrestle Rant radio show.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I don't really remember the match too much from this. See how much she's kind of grown from there. I don't even remember if her character was similar. I mean, I'm assuming
Shida
it
or
was.
Rhea?
Her, Rio,
Rio's on
another
the
girl.
show. I don't know if Sheeta's on the show. I don't know if she's in that Joshi match.
Yeah, she is. She's in the Joshi match.
Okay.
I haven't looked it up. I think she is.
Remember they made a big deal about Aja Kong coming in? And they did nothing with her?
Yeah, Hikaru Shida, Riho, and Ryo Mizunami versus Aja Khan, Ima Sakura, and Yuka Sakazaka.
Oh, okay. They've used her before, yeah. She faced Britt Baker a couple months ago. I remember her.
Yeah, so. But then they remember when they randomly added Awesome Kong and everyone lost their pants and she was gone from the company in a week.
Yeah, they have no... I mean, honestly, I totally forgot about that.
It was supposed to be that triple threat and they added Awesome Kong in. It was basically a one-on-one match between Britt and Kylie Ray.
Well, that I remember, but I don't remember her... I forgot that she left a couple months ago to go film Glow, but, like, that was, like, 6 months ago. How long does it take to film Glow?
Yeah. Honestly, totally forgot. Well, not totally forgot, but I was trying to remember who Best Friends faced. They faced Angelico and Jack Evans. They fought ball. Oh my god.
It was a good match.
Yeah, but they're just like the hybrid two are just glorified losers.
No, they're like I don't know. I don't want to say forgotten. They're better than Forgotten Sons, but I feel like they're positioned like that, where they're always a team for other. Like they're always a constant stepping stone, you know?
Yeah. Guys looking for a crowd reaction. No one says a word.
Yeah, I know.
This was definitely a good match. It just like I said, just when you only know one team, the other guys have no clue who the fuck they are. It's just kind of like.
I mean, I don't remember too well what was going on in BTE at this point. And I know they didn't have TV, so I give them the benefit of the doubt. But they weren't doing a great job of making me care about the people that were in the match. You know, that we didn't already know. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Uh-oh. I mean, I've been watching BT recently, but I don't know. Haven't really thought it's been like a great show lately.
No, it's been a little better lately than it was when Dynamite first started. Literally, the first like 4 or 5 months was like all after the show stuff with like Brandon Cutler getting pinned by someone in the crowd. Like, I don't care about that type of stuff personally. I don't care.
Wow.
They spend 20 minutes on the Brandon Cutler Peter Avalon on that bit. Like, dude, no one cares. Or the coffee thing. I just don't find it funny, personally. Or the merch freak, and that's your favorite.
I remember when you were sitting in line, I was watching the Sabian Guevara match. I'm like, oh, that's a good match, and I'm pretty sure we both said Guevara because he was actually like featured on BT a ton, and then he just lost. I was like, well,
I remember that. Yeah, that was
cool. That was lasted.
I like Kip Sabian, but he just screams mid-card with the whole Penelope for it. Like, they're a good act. I don't know. Just something feels like off about it. It just feels like...
Oh, I like them. I actually like them a lot. I mean, I don't like how they're with Jimmy Havoc now. It makes no sense.
I like
think
Jimmy
they're
Havoc,
together.
but that's beyond random.
Right. That's just like with Pac with Lucha Bros. Like, that is completely random.
No. That actually... They're trying to make the most of it, and they have good chemistry together, but it's very random. Like, where's the Death Triangle? Like, okay, why? Does AEW need more
Spanish version's way better. The Death Triangle just sounds stupid. I don't know how to say it in Spanish, but it sounds way better.
Oh, something de la muerte, because muerte is death. I don't know what triangle is. A triangulo? I don't know, something like that.
I'll do the research for the kid. Let's see. For AEW, for Phoenix's AEW does not mention it at all.
What about Phoenix?
I looked on his Wikipedia, doesn't mention anything about the team.
What, him and Lucha Bros?
Him and when they added Pac, I thought there'd be like anything.
Death Triangle.
I might just have to do the Google Trend. There you go. Triangulo de la Muerte. There it is.
Is that what it was?
Triangulo de la Muerte is Death Triangle.
Is that what they said on TV? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
It did sound cool, though, when they did it.
Yeah, it sounds better. Like, the Death Triangle just sounds stupid.
No,
The
it sounds
Spanish
silly.
It sounds pretty cool.
Wait a second. I just realized we have or had, because they're not on TV right now, we have the Death Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Inner Circle.
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to get the square? Or the rectangle?
The dark
Pentagon.
circle.
What'd you say?
The dark square.
The Dark Square. We're going to have a shape faction. We're going to have shape wars, faction wars, like in WCW or in TNA with the Beatdown Clan. And Aces and Eights.
Yeah, TNA at that time. Oh my god, Immortal, fucking Fortune, Main Event Mafia. Like Jesus Christ.
It wasn't just factions; it was heel factions. Was the problem? They had way.
I mean, that's a lot of what AEW has. Pretty much any heels has some kind of partner or in a faction.
Yeah, I think so far they've done a better job of establishing themselves as like a more of a real alternative to the WWE than TNA did early on. Because when TNA first started, I mean, I wasn't watching in 02, but like. It seemed like they tried too hard to be like, fuck WWE or whatever. And not that AEW doesn't do that, because we've been over this before. They definitely try a little too hard with like the Vince McMahon, Brody Lee thing. How many times have we talked about that? How dumb is that? Brody Lee even did an interview lately, and he's like, oh, the Mr. McMahon, the Vince McMahon comparisons are completely coincidental. Dude, stop. Maybe he's just being a heel and he was, doing it in character, but like that's the silliest thing I've ever, the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Obviously doing it on purpose.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to see him. I mean, we'll say I'm a little surprised. I thought Kenny would have been their first champion. I mean, I think Jericho did a good job, but now it's just like still is like not the WWE stench, but it's like everyone contending for the title is like a former WWE guy. Just as I don't know.
Swagger, Moxley, Lee, Jericho, Moxley. I said Moxley. Cody.
Hangman's the only one that contended for it that wasn't WWE.
On pay-per-view, yeah. Well, I mean, on TV they had, Allen, they had Darby Allin, they had Scorpio Sky. It's actually kind of crazy when you go back and watch the show, which is part of the reason why I wanted to watch it, and realize like how different the roster is now too. Like they've added a lot of people, and that was one of our early criticisms too of the show, was that like they didn't have a deep enough roster because they started up within a couple months. So to their credit, they put together a pretty good roster right off the bat. But like they brought in a lot. I mean, obviously Moxley on this show, but it seemed like they kind of filled out the mid card and the tag team division with LAX and people like that.
Yeah, I think they have a good mid card. I mean, I think they could. Yeah, they have a good mid card.
Like I think they filled out the TNT title tournament well.
Yeah.
With Dustin, and I'm not the biggest Dustin fan, but he's actually done very well for himself in the company, all things considered. Got to stop doing the Canadian Destroyer, but other than that.
What do you think about Britt doing it last week? I was like, Jesus Christ.
Did she? I think I missed that. During the 4-way?
Yeah, she hit it. It was like, I'm pretty sure, I think she hit it on Statlander. I think she had Statlander, and then, like, it brought her to outside the ring after. I know she hit it because I remember them saying it, too.
Oh, God.
She hit it, and they're like, Canadian Destroyer! I'm like, oh, my God.
Just stop.
I will say, even in this show, you can tell, like, the referees, I don't know, they make the referees just seem really dumb.
Not just dumb, they do try to get away with it. That was a close call. They do try to get away with it by saying, oh, it's at the referee's discretion, but that's such a cop-out answer. Because why would they allow certain stuff, like at Revolution when they were whipping each other with the belt, or when Cody whipped MJF with the weight belt? Like, why would that be allowed? That makes no sense.
Yeah. I feel like there's plenty of times in matches, it's just like, especially in tag team matches, it's like two guys in one team will be like beating the shit out of the guy, and they just don't even say anything, and they just keep going. The referee just doesn't even get involved.
Yeah.
It's like this right here, they've already shown in this match already, like, when the Strong Hearts try to, like, pin them, they both, the other two guys were in the ring trying to, like, stop them from coming in. The ref just counted like normal.
I know.
I'm pretty sure coming out of the show, I remember we were in the parking lot, walking to get food, and we both, like, mentioned it.
The tag team thing?
Just how, like, I feel like all the time it used to be, like, they'd run in the corner, like, I think they do in the Joshi match, too. I don't know if it's like a Japanese kind of style, so that's what they do in this match as well. But like when like someone's pinning them, the other two people like come in and like try to stop the other people from.
Oh right, yeah. I mean, it is.
I remember that Joshi match. Everyone's like, "This is awesome." I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, we'll get to that later, but Yeah, I mean it wasn't bad, but it was a little overrated because I saw people saying like, "Oh man, like what great stuff." Like, it was no different than any women's match for the most part that I had seen on Raw and SmackDown on that point. It was a good match, but like without characters to care about, I just honestly don't give a shit. And no one stood out to me either. The funny thing is that I know most of the women. We know most of the women who were in the match now, but like I don't remember that they were in it then because they didn't really stand out to me aside from Riho, who kind of came across as like Kairi Sane light.
Yeah, I remember we said that.
Shit. What?
Oh, diving cutter.
I was gonna say the cutters are just. You gotta stop with the cutters.
That's Cody's go-to.
Who did the cutter recently? I watched. Maybe it was on Dark. Oh my god! You know who has a cutter as a finisher now? That was nice.
Yeah.
QT Marshall.
Talk about an absolute loser.
For when he actually wins a match on his own.
He actually wins a match. What was he on Dark?
He was in Dark this week. They had 9 jobber matches this week. Just
Why?
I don't know. That's the thing. I mean, they give the people wins and stuff, which is nice, but 9 seems like overkill. You know for a fact that if that happened on like a main event, I don't know, something like that, people would be whining their eyes out.
QT Marshall, he's so bad.
I just don't understand like why. Unless he's in a tag team, that's like having Jimmy Uso have a go on a singles run. Like, I don't care.
I know. Welcome to the Fatu.
Oh, Angel's Wings. So welcome to the Fatu. Yeah.
Welcome to the Fatu Correctional Facility.
That's close.
I will say, I think something they still need to kind of clean up a little bit, especially in the tag matches. Instead of like, I don't know, I feel like it's still like it's so fast paced and so spot festy that I feel like lately I've seen more sloppiness out of tag matches.
That's true. I saw that.
Like I feel like I understand they want to like have fast paced good matches, but like I feel like they try so like. Especially last week on Dynamite, that fucking best friend Jurassic Express match was just like,
that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Just so, everything's just like, I understand they want fast pacing, like, obviously they keep people entertained and stuff, but it just seems like there's so many more sloppy spots and that ending of that match was so crazy. It was Phoenix coming out, then MGF getting involved, then a guy like hitting another guy, and just like a big shit show. I'm like, holy smokes.
Oh, shit. Oh my god, I forgot that was one of their finishers. Yeah, I know, they kind of overdo it sometimes.
I mean, that finisher was... That was definitely...
I haven't seen them win with that in a while.
I don't even remember... I don't think I've ever seen them even do that. The back, like the moonsault, the tombstone.
Usually, you know why, though? I think it's usually because it's Scorpio Sky and Frankie teaming than it is Christopher and Frankie. That's probably why.
Sheeta was on Dark, I see.
Who was on Dark? Oh, Sheeta?
Looks like it.
Yeah, she was on Dark. She faced a woman named Danny Jordan.
Did QT win or did he lose?
No, he won.
They just cut her. Jesus Christ.
They all faced fodder people, so everyone won.
Jimmy Havoc.
Phoenix was on there, Darby Allin.
Kip Sabian and fucking Jimmy Havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get that team at all. It's so random.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, it's nice they're adding to their tag team division, but do they really need to add to their tag team division? Like, if they're bringing in the Revival at some point, this is what I'm saying. They might get lost in the shuffle and like, in a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep adding bigger teams and then you're not even utilizing the good teams you have now, you gotta think of all the established teams that they already have. They're making more random teams, and then their champions is like a fake team that they just threw together.
Well, there's Mr. Marceau.
There I am right there. There I am. I'm marking out.
Is that where you made your Nyla Rose joke, or no?
I was sitting there when I did that one. I remember like half the people laughed and some lady just death stared at me. I was like, Oh god, I thought it was Brandy for a minute. No, it's
It looked
freaking.
like Brandy. Where's the bunny been lately?
Talk about. Remember that debut? Went over like a fart in church.
That's the issue with this, though. Like, they're having... Like, she's been here for a while, but they've done absolutely nothing with it. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I don't think I really remember her being that great as a singles wrestler. She's okay.
No. I mean, the dude's good. I mean, if you watch her in Impact,
Yeah.
she's all right. Well, what was the next match? I forgot about this.
Kylie Ray.
I don't know. I feel like she was a much bigger star.
Berry Bailey?
What'd you say?
Just remember when they were talking about her and Cody Berry Bailey and said that Kylie Ray was actually nice.
Wasn't that this weekend?
Yeah. Did it ever come out what happened with this?
I was just about to say. It was never revealed why she ended up leaving. And she's in Impact now, so she's fine. But, she deleted her social media, and she had all these issues. But she did say that it wasn't because of, like, Brandy or whatever. But, like, here's my thing. If she's over her issues now, then why wouldn't she just go back? Why would she go to another promotion? And I'm sure they would want her back.
Oh.
I don't know. It just seems weird because they were building around her from the start, and then she just up and leaves. This was like her one and only match in the entire promotion.
Yeah, this was her only match in the promotion.
Mm-hmm.
God, Nyla Rose is so bad. The native beast. Ugh.
Was this when you said it?
Yeah, probably.
What's fine?
I just I don't know. The issue with not even like it's an issue with her, just the way the company was positioning her. I just like instead of just saying she's a good wrestler, they just immediately like, oh, we signed the first transgendered woman wrestler.
No, I agree. Yeah.
It's like, why can't you just and like I have nothing against that at all, but I don't know. I just don't think she's good enough to like. I mean, the fact that she's champion, I mean, yikes, she's not that good.
I think, in my opinion, she's improved. I don't dislike her as much as I once did, but I think she's gotten better.
She's no Britt Baker, no. It's crazy how for that All-In show they had Britt Baker, they had Chelsea Green, they had Tessa, and then Madison Rayne. And only Britt Baker was the only one that was brought in.
I know, but like, look at everyone that was in the match. Like, they all went on to do big things. Like, Deonna, I think, Deonna Purrazzo was supposed to be on that show. We've already discussed this. But she was supposed to be in Britt's spot.
Yeah.
So Deonna went to WWE. Britt went to AEW, who was the only one in that match that, like you said, went to AEW. Madison, she went to Ring of Honor, and then she ended up leaving like 6 months later and went back to Impact. Tessa stayed with Impact. And then who was the other one?
Yeah, Chelsea Green, she's in TNA.
And she went to WWE, yeah. It's pretty crazy. Like, they all went to different places. I was going to rewatch that, too. I have that show free on Honor Club because it's like it was technically a Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So I might rewatch that when it gets closer.
Fucking Brandy. Pretty sure they're booing her right here.
Oh, yeah, I know. Everyone was like, why is she here?
Yeah, they're booing the shit out of her.
Chief Brandy.
That's strictly look at my ass. That's not even cheap Brandy.
How many matches do you only
Talk
really
about
wrestle
terrible
with
in the
the
ring.
Collective? What'd you say?
Nightmare Collective. I said, talk about terrible in the ring. I want it to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Then basically turns it into a freaking singles match between Britt and Kylie.
I want it to be an awesome match. This was sick. Kurt lost her shit.
GSM marked out.
Nice little pop there.
All these puppets going nuts for Awesome Kong, way
I
over
loved
the
it.
hill.
I loved Awesome Kong at TNA. Her and Gail Kim, money.
Tell me about it. Her and Lady Tapa, fucking love it.
She looked great, but in the ring, she's all beaten down. Never ended up getting that Awesome Kong Nyla Rose match that you so wanted so badly.
Thank God. This is the Awesome Kong and freaking Nyla Rose match I never wanted.
What'd you say?
I said, this is basically all. This is the best thing I could have got out of it. Them two literally just beating the shit out of each other and just a singles match.
Yeah. Kind of canceling each other out.
Yep. Powerhouse. He's a powerhouse, alright.
That Nightmare Collective show was terrible, dude.
I miss Mel.
What'd you say?
I said I miss Mel.
I think she's still under contract.
I miss Luther. Just kidding. I saw that stupid match with him and fucking Jimmy Havoc last week. I'm like, who cares?
That's so bad. It was alright. It
The
was decent.
Nightmare Collective. The thing is, people always say, "Oh, at least they got rid of it." I'm like, well, they ran it long enough that it was so bad. I mean, they had to get rid of it at that
Yeah,
point.
I mean, the fans were crapping on it enough, but at least they were self-aware to the point where they're like, okay, we got to stop this. Because they did put a lot of time and effort into it, but they just, like, were, you know, they couldn't keep doing it. People were just going to continue crapping on it, you know?
Yep.
I don't remember if this was a good match or not. I don't really recall too well.
I'm pretty sure it was a pretty good match. Like I said, I'm pretty sure at one point, I think like Nyla and Kong both like either went into the steel steps or like a post, and it's basically just Britt and Kylie in a one-on-one after that point, and then Britt wins.
Yeah.
But then everyone like pooped over Britt because they were saying that basically she was just like the hand-picked women.
Yeah. That's what she wanted, the babyface. She's just way better as a heel. I don't really mind the fact that fans didn't really buy into it too much, just because it just wasn't working in the first place. I don't think.
Yeah, just her gimmick. I mean, I think she has the look of a face, but her gimmick just screams heel. Like an annoying dentist. Like, it just you want to boo her. Like when she like uses her doctor terms, like the dentistry terms, it's like that's just annoying. Like that's just such a heelish thing.
That and the fact that she's not amazing in the ring anyway, so it's not like, oh man, she's just a great wrestler, so we can get behind her. Like she wasn't that good. She was good, but she didn't really stand out in any special way. So it's like, all right, turn her heel because her mic skills can shine for her, you know.
Yeah, Kylie Ray. Is she in TNA's Kylie Ray, or she changed?
No, yeah,
that
she's still doing the whole same gimmick and shit.
I wonder why she left that.
Yeah, I would honestly love to know. I mean, it's none of my business, but it's probably a personal thing. I think it was a mental health thing, but then, like, why not go back there is my question. I get why she would leave, but why not go back?
Well, maybe the mental health thing came from being at AEW.
Maybe, just too much too soon, but she had, like, one match. It's not like, oh, man, I was on TV for 6 months and I was burned out by the road. Yeah, the road of being on the road for a week. Flying to Las Vegas.
Well, like you said, now she's in Impact, so...
Yeah, no, it's a smaller, bigger fish, smaller pond. But she was also a pretty big star here, so it's not like that. I mean, she's there. Tenille went to Impact. They've done absolutely nothing with her. So, I mean, I don't know. And I think that was a big miss. I really thought that Tenille should have been in AEW. And she teased it, too. I watched that Van Vliet interview that she did about a year ago. And she was like, oh, yeah, I may be back there. And she never showed up again.
Wasn't she at All Out?
What'd you say?
Wasn't Emma at All Out, you said?
All Out, yeah. She was in that Battle Royal.
She's at TNA, too, or she's at RH?
No, yeah, she's been in Impact, but she hasn't done anything. She's barely been on the show for the last 6 months.
Jesus. Yeah, she could, if she signed with AEW immediately, she could have been the star of the company.
I thought so.
Maybe she just didn't think it was established enough at this point.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know if they were offering her enough. I don't know.
Who's the women's champion in TNA? It's not Tessa, right?
No, Tessa's the world champion right now.
So who's the
Knockouts champion is that girl Jordan Grace. Taya Valkyrie was the champion, and then Jordan Grace beat her. And I don't think Jordan Grace was at the tapings recently, so that's the thing with Impact. None of their champions showed up for the taping, so they only have like the X Division title because they taped like 3 months worth of content because of the whole quarantine thing at their headquarters like a month ago, and almost like half the roster didn't show up. So like there was Joey Ryan is like all over the tapings. I'm like, this is terrible. There's nothing you could do, but it sucks.
Is he still doing the penis shit?
No, he actually stopped doing that. Now he's like, what was that group? WrestleMania 17.
Right to censor?
He's basically doing a right to censor gimmick now, yeah. It's so bad. I watched WrestleMania 17 with Alexis and her dad a couple weeks ago. They're like, damn, what is that music? It's so bad.
It's like the fucking sirens.
Yeah, they're like, make it stop.
Seriously. Fucking Impact. The tag team champions, the North still, or no?
The North, yeah. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're actually, I think they're the longest reigning champions they've had.
Willie Max X Division? How's he even X Division?
Yeah, Willie Mack. Their tagline used to be, it's not about, weight limits. It's about no limits. It's like, okay, cool. And that's why Abyss was cheering.
I remember they used to always be like smaller guys, and then like Abyss won it one time.
Yeah, and then it was all bets were off at that point.
What was the championship they had that was like the rounds? Remember, it was like they like had like rounds, and I don't think the fuck the other ones.
The Impact Grand Championship. It was so bad.
Okay. The Impact Grand Championship.
Yeah, they had rounds, and it just didn't work. Flopped like a fish. Moose held it for a while, and then like he tried to make it something, but that was about it.
Interesting. Yeah, because I just read a thing on Kylie Ray. Said that at Firefest she was supposed to face Leva Bates, and then like they just pulled her like last minute, and then she faced Allie instead.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, why? What did happen with that?
I don't know. I feel like the AEW fan base or demographic just like big marks. So I could just see them shitting all over on Twitter. And
to be honest, I think the Bailey thing definitely may have had something to do with that. Oh, like, oh my God, you're not as good as Bailey, blah blah blah. It's like, who cares? Let them do the thing.
Just be yourself. I don't know. I feel like with those kind of, especially Twitter, just be like a famous athlete. I mean, I wouldn't even have a Twitter if I was that famous.
It's a cesspool. It's terrible. It's terrible as it is, let alone if you're a celebrity.
I'm like, if you just don't give a shit what people think about you, then fine. But if you have like any kind of mental health or just like don't do well with those situations, don't have a fucking Twitter. The thing is a fucking, like you said, literally a cesspool for people just to shit on you.
The issue is that too, I feel like it's a lot worse for the women. Like with Deonna Purrazzo, people were tweeting her, calling her fat. Like, is that really necessary? Like, you can think what you want, but like, I thought she was fat in the first place. But like, why would you even? Why you wouldn't say that to their face? So why would you like tweet it to them? I know why, because they're anonymous and blah blah blah. But like, it's so stupid.
There's also calling for one move of the whole match.
Where has she been? I forgot she was a part of the match until now.
Like I told you, I'm pretty sure at one point, I think right here she tries to like run in. I think she tries to run into her at the steel steps and she moves. And she just gets wiped out. Something happens with Nyla Rose and she shows Brett and Kaylee at the end. I hate Brandy. God almighty.
I don't like Brandy either, but I think it's just the role that she's in because I hate her as a wrestler. I mean, I've been telling you that for years, dude. Impact made this big deal about signing her, like, oh yeah, Brandy Rhodes, and she had shit matches. She had like a match with a Rebel or something, and it stunk out the joint. And then Ring of Honor signed her. They're like, oh, we have Brandy Rhodes. And then she stunk out the joint. She fucking sucked.
Like, I don't mind her with Cody, but I think, like, when she was with that Nightmare Collective, she was just annoying.
No, because the thing is, dude, it's not her fault, but, like, just as a talker, she just doesn't have it. Like, some people have what it takes to be believable in that role. Not everyone can be a pro wrestler. Like, I'm sure if I was in that role, I would do terrible, too. Like, she's just not. She sounds like she's reading off of a script or something. She's just not believable.
Here, I think Nyla Rose just like takes her out. Yeah.
Yeah, she took her out.
That spot looked terrible.
That's it. Back to catering. Just broke Awesome Kong's back again.
There goes her knee again.
I'm at the 41:55 mark here. If anyone wants to join in at the end of the women's match.
Oh, fuck, what
Honestly, I forgot who wins, so this is going to be a surprise to me. Oh, and actually, I do remember. I think Britt wins. Oh! This is what it should have been the entire time. It should have just been these two from the start.
Yeah, they had a really good, like, one-on-one.
Yeah, they had good chemistry here. Oh!
Jeez, I think GS is ahead of me.
Which
I just thought,
second.
Yeah, I just like Paige Turner. Oh!
Kicked out. I was gonna say, what was she using as her finisher at the time? I don't remember. Was she doing the mandible claw thing? I don't think so.
No, she wasn't doing that. I thought she did that. I thought the Paige Turner was.
I think
she wants to get a roll up.
What'd you say?
I think she rolls her up here.
I think it was a super kick or something. Because her BOGO is flying. I remember that. So, like, this is when it got good. The early portion was decent, but they got good with these two. Like, it should have just been them from the start. Like, did you have to have Nyla Rose in the pay-per-view? Like, Allie wasn't in action. Did Nyla Rose have to wrestle?
Gotta get her across. Well, I mean, I was gonna say, Kylie Ray's freaking her headband, or that bows will come out anyways.
Yeah.
Roll her up. 1, 2.
Oh. It's dangling on for dear life.
1, 2.
I'm surprised I never heard of Kylie Ray before this company, because she was really good. I had never heard of her at all before.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think she was even in any. It's one of those things. If you're not in like a big company, even if you're just trying to like cut your teeth in like ROH, I don't even think she was in like any other like small, like bigger independent promotion.
Yeah, and that was the thing.
Say,
there we go.
It's worth like
the super kick, and then whatever. Who does
that's like the Adam Cole fucking.
Adam Cole. That's probably why she did it. It's called I don't know what it's called though.
I don't know. Cole made it look 20 times better than whatever she did.
Yeah, that looked a little sloppy. What's the old Mr. What's the old Mr. Marceauism?
Sloppier than Sloppy Joe. That looked tough, but yeah.
Still decent.
I mean, that's just like an Adam Cole special right there.
He probably taught it to her the night before.
Like the suplex and like the knee buster thing.
Yeah.
The doctor was sitting down, the crowd's sitting on their hands.
Yay, women's wrestling. Is that Noel Foley? I think I see Noel Foley. It's funny.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw her too.
Yeah. I think she's there by herself, which is funny. She's not even there with like her dad or her boyfriend. She's just
being a mark.
So weird. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd go front row to a show by myself. That just seems strange. It's not fun. I'd have to go to Mr. Marceau or Alexis or somebody.
Oh,
that was a nice super kick. That's
was
an
a good
Adam Cole
super
special
kick.
too. What'd you say?
But, yeah, that just didn't look too hot.
Why would you show that in slow motion?
Yeah. It was like, instead of actually like coming down and having the knee, like, pretty sure it's supposed to be is when she comes down, she's just like wrap her arm around her neck, and then her arm hits her knee, and then she kind of folds her over.
Yeah.
That one, she's just like, she went straight down on the ground. Yeah, it looked sloppy. But, I mean, hey, not everyone can do it like Adam Cole can.
Love the chips. Alright, next match. Stop dragging this thing out. I wonder if they show 3 hours and 47 minutes. Who wins? Move on. Oh, man.
I don't think what match is next.
I don't remember. Best
Best
friends,
friend?
maybe? I don't remember.
I don't think I have it here. Let me check.
No,
Next
here.
up, Best Friends versus Angelico and Jack Evans.
Call the Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, everyone's signing their hands, especially GSM.
Jesus.
What was worse, that debuted or Butcher and Blade?
Butcher and Blade. Absolutely Butcher and Blade. Because we've been over this before. We said it that night.
Or Luther?
Luther's was bad, too. With the Super
They're like,
Smash...
that's deathmatch Luther! I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
The thing with the Super Smash Bros, we said it then, I'll say it now. Their finisher is sick. So it's like, okay, they have a cool finisher. Like, that was pretty cool. Butcher and Blade, I'm like, who gives a fuck?
Wow, they have Allie. That's like, they're basically like,
I like Allie.
they're basically like Blake and Murphy. Like, Allie's the best part when Alexa Bliss is the best part of
That's a
them.
great comparison, yeah. Where are the marks that were sitting behind in front of us? Best friend.
God, remember when they hugged?
I was just about to say. These two kids sitting in front of us just stand up and hug.
Right when best friends hug, they get up and hug.
One of them wanted nothing to do with it. That was the best part.
I will say the Hybrid 2, they have such a good theme.
They have a good team. They have a good entrance. They just don't have a good win-loss record.
I don't even think they've won a match, let alone win-loss record. I'm just hearing Alex Marvez. I'm like, this guy's so bad.
Yeah, I did not miss that at all.
Jack Evans walking down on his hands.
Justin Roberts with the note cards. Come on, dude. Remember your lines. There's no reason for the note cards. Camera caught that. Embarrassing. Vince would frickin' bury
Vince
him on
would literally roast the guy.
the spot. These guys were
Well, that's like when I was
great.
watching the old NXT takeovers. I think JoJo was announcing, and like every takeover is Tyler Breeze at a different location. I'm like, hey, she doesn't need no cards. From his seasonal residence, like everyone is different. I was
I
like,
remember that, yeah. Good times.
I mean, technically, she could just say seasonal residence from anywhere, and it'd just be right.
Yeah, they wanted to be specific. It's all about the minor details. Well, the
What
match
are
and gear
your
for
thoughts of like when they like do it? Like, I feel like AEW, it's just like they just either have like a weird place they're from, weird weight, or just I don't know.
from AEW?
Yeah, like sometimes they'll say their weight, sometimes they don't. If they say they're like Jimmy Havoc, it's like 2 stone or 4 stone or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like Orange Cat's like whatever he weighs and wherever he's from. I'm like, okay.
That's funny. I like the Orange Cassidy entrance.
Weighs 4 stone. I'm like, how much is that?
They used to do that with Drew McIntyre way back when, but they just stopped doing it when he first debuted like a decade ago. Love the matching gear from all 4 guys. Unintentionally.
This is like I know Jack Evans and Angelico from Lucha Underground, and then Trent from WWE. Never saw Chuck together before.
Never saw him, but I knew who he was from. I think they teamed together for a little bit. Actually, I did know who he was because he was in Ring of Honor with Trent. But beyond that, I wasn't really too aware of his work and whatever.
For the longest time, I didn't know why he went by Chuck Taylor's because he used to wear Converse, and that's what Chuck Taylor's.
Yeah.
And then I saw an interview, and he's like, "Flo, the stupidest name ever." I'm
That's
like, "Hey,
so
you
dumb.
came up with it." Trent.
Trent looks
Trent.
ripped, though. Compared to his WWE days, he looked like a scrub. That was a decade ago, too, when he showed up in WWE as the Dude Busters. That was 10
Who was
years
he
ago.
teaming with?
The other guy?
Yeah.
I think he became a teacher or something. He got out of the business.
Okay,
That's why
good.
they never continued to team. That's why they teamed up for like a year, I think. They didn't last even a year. They got at least Kalen Croft, the other guy, got fired pretty quickly. Trent was with the company for a couple of years after that on his own.
He got buried on ECW.
I met him a couple of years ago. He's a really weird dude. He's a nice guy, but he's definitely a weird dude. Oh, here we go.
He's definitely a weird dude.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's a bizarre one.
Worse than Del Rio?
He's not weird. He's just a piece of shit. Oh, you mean in terms of people I met?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Trent was at least cool. Like, when I met Trent, I met Kurt Hawkins then, too. And they were good friends just because I think they worked Superstars a lot back in the day, like 10 years ago. Like, they worked Superstars all the time. So I asked them about it, and they were like, oh, yeah, you know, we would just go out there and have great matches because no one in the back gave a fuck. Like, no one was watching because it was Superstars. But anyway, you know, Trent, they talked for a while. They were cool. But Del Rio was like, I'm your biggest fan. I love your Lucha Underground work. Loved you in WWE. Love your upcoming work in TNA. Big fan of your work in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Big fan. And he goes, 40 pesos.
Guy like puts GSM over, he just buries the guy and says he just asked for 40 pesos.
It was so funny. He was one of those guys that was the dick by omission, if that makes sense. Like, he was the dick by not saying anything at all.
I mean, yeah, it's just like, hey, you're so great. You're just like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no, yeah. He's like, I know. I beat women for a living. Good for you. Yeah, he's a piece of work.
Remember when you buried me at Kevin Owens?
Oh, when I buried you, I think you're talking about Del Rio. Yeah, that was great. Love KO. KO was so nice. The best part was that he was like, I'm going to pop up powerbomb you through this table because he saw my Seth Rollins phone case. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to pop up powerbomb you. And then I said, oh, you're a great father. He's like, why is he calling me a great father? What a fucking mark.
Then we went to the worst show of all time that night.
What an iconic day. God, Hell in a Cell 2018. So bad.
See you later, GSM.
What'd you say?
Alright, later, GSM. Just get up and leave.
That shit was terrible. Dude, we should do a rewatch of Hell in the Cell 2016 one of these days.
Please, no. I'm pretty sure it's like the Dana Brooke versus fucking Bailey.
I was the only one who stood up and cheered for Bailey, I remember. It was Bailey versus Dana Brooke. It was Brian Kendrick beating TJ Perkins for the Cruiserweight Championship. New Day versus The Bar for the tag titles, and it ended on a DQ, which was bullshit. They had a good match, too. Rusev, Roman, Hell in the Cell. Kevin Owens, Rollins had a great Hell in the Cell match. The main event was putrid between Sasha and Charlotte.
The Good Brothers versus Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, no one gave a fuck, dude. That random-ass Cruiserweight kickoff match, I remember, too. Like, Drew Gulak was in it, and Cedric Alexander, and a few others. Kalisto, maybe Lince Dorado.
You know, Cedric Alexander, Dorado, and Sin Cara versus Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Daivari.
Jesus. You know what's so funny about that, though? Most of those guys are still with the company now, and nothing has changed.
Yep.
Except for Drew Gulak, who just quit like a week ago. How Arya Daivari lasted longer than he did, I have no idea.
Dude, I thought of just looking at the card. You know who the mystery guy could be? Maybe Rusev.
Oh no, he can't be. I answered that in hashtag earlier. The 90-day no-compete clause doesn't expire till July. Because I was thinking like maybe EC3 or something, but none of those people can go. I don't think anyway, unless, you know, false report. Unless it was like, oh, you know, his contract expired, but when that whole thing went down, they made it pretty clear. I think maybe his contract was going to expire, but they fired. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but maybe. And if he does, then it's said here in the archive, so you're right.
I'd sit on my hands.
It wouldn't be Rusev. He'd be like Lusev or something. He'd be Alexander finally, get his first name back.
Alexander Kozlov.
We called him the new Kozlov. Rusev was far better, but Kozlov was a bore.
I love Kozlov.
I did like Kozlov early on, but like watching back, I don't know why I would have ever liked the guy. He's
just
so
he was
boring.
new. Hey, just because he was new. He was just new.
Not just because he was new, dude, but like the matches he had with Jeff Hardy and Triple H were terrible. They're really
I actually loved his theme. I actually really liked his theme.
Prima este bad boo. Comes out wearing a diaper. Amazing.
I loved when he used to dance.
Oh, yeah. They turn every
Remember
giant
that
into
shit?
a
We used to
joke.
do dance competitions every week. God, that was bad.
That was a bad time in Raw history. Oh, that's cool.
A dance off every week.
Brodus Clay. Remember they had a dance off on Raw one time between Jim Ross and
Michael Cole.
Yeah.
So good.
Should have asked JR about that when I talked to him a couple months ago. This was a pretty good match, too.
Sexy Chucky T.
Is that his Twitter handle?
Yep.
Two.
Yeah. Mr. Boo.
It's a good song.
He was so bad, though, like you said, looking
Yeah,
back
he was
at
so
it.
bad. He was like the second coming of Heidenreich. Heidenreich.
Yeah, he was pretty bad, so.
They were trying to make him a Nazi without actually making him a Nazi.
Yep.
Classic vintage Mr. Marceau SmackDown days from like 02 to 05. So many bad characters and gimmicks and storylines. SmackDown was fire in 02, but there was some bad shit. Kenzo Suzuki, loser. Luther Reigns, loser. Mark Jindrak, loser.
It's so many. Nah, like you said, looking back at it now, that's so many losers.
Matt Morgan, loser. I mean, they at least they didn't pan out in WWE. Rene Dupree, loser.
I miss Fifi.
Oh, hugged him.
Yeah, here it goes. I'm below the
hug.
box.
I love the zoom out. Whatever happened? I thought didn't Rene Dupree get hired by the company to be an agent? Whatever happened with that?
I
I've
love
not
this
heard
dance.
of him since.
I love the dance.
JBL dance I'm partial to, but I like the Fifi dance too.
Kaz used to lose it for Rene Dupree.
That's such a forgotten tag team, like, because they won so many titles, but everyone forgets about them. La Resistance.
Yep.
How did they not get another shot after that, like an Impact or Ring of Honor or anywhere else?
I think Renee stopped wrestling, that's why.
Rob Conway went to like the NWA or some shit. He's so random. He was the worst of them all.
No, I think they hired Sly as the agent.
Oh yeah. Not Renee. It was Sly. Yeah, but I haven't heard from him since either. Sylvain Gagne. Well, that was cool.
I remember they used to pump up Rene Dupree. Like, he was young at the time. He was like 21 or 22, and they're like, freaking, I can hear JR now saying young blue chipper right now.
Yeah. Well, they brought him over to SmackDown in one of the drafts, and he feuded with Cena over the U.S. Championship, and then he went nowhere after that.
Yeah, that was when Cena used to beat everyone before he was even big match John.
Yeah. Big match, John.
That's when Cena beat like Kenzo Suzuki, Rene Dupree, Carlito.
Carlito's another one, yeah.
Ripped through Team Angle.
Booker T. Booker T was already established, but
yeah, he beat Shelton and Charlie Haas a few times. I mean,
that was fucking sick. Yeah, Charlie Haas.
do I miss? What the hell is the guy's name? What the fuck is his name? The guy that was Carlito's bodyguard that they said like stabbed Cena. Hey, Jesus.
You know, there was a rumor at one point that he was supposed to be not Jesus, but you know who was rumored to be the person who stabbed John Cena in the club?
Who?
New Jack.
Oh God.
And it didn't work. That was just a rumor that never was actually a thing. They didn't talk about it in that doc on New Jack, but he did have a tryout with WWE in 05, and it just obviously didn't work out. I mean, nor should it have. Why would they even entertain the idea of bringing him in? I have no idea.
It's just like a 6:30. 6:30.
I will say, one too many near falls in some of these matches.
Oh yeah.
Great matches, but like not every match is going to be the main event of WrestleMania.
Well, that's what they said. It's like more like it's more like spot festy that they just want like a big reaction, so they just do all like
Yeah,
big moves.
it just kind of gets old.
I
After a
can't
while.
wait for the Young Bucks Lucha Bros match. They had so many fucking near falls.
Oh god, yeah, you were pissed about that afterward. I remember that.
Because I'm pretty sure, like, I'm trying to think what their move is. I'm pretty sure that I think they like hit their fit. Okay, that was. Oh, I thought he just won on that.
I thought that was it too. They didn't win it on a roll up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lucha Bros like hit their finish. He kicked out,
Oh shit.
and then they hit something else, and like he didn't kick out or something stupid like that. We're similar to when at Revolution they hit the V trigger in the buckshot lariat, and he kicked out, and then he just did the buckshot lariat on his own and he pinned him.
Yeah, that was a little bothersome. That was my only nitpick of the entire match, and I love that match.
Greatest tag team match in wrestling history.
I know. Is anyone talking about it 3 months later? Nope.
This is the Doomsday Device?
Makeshift Doomsday. That was cool. What would you say if I had to ask you right now your favorite match of 2020 so far that you can recall of any promotion? Love the Best Friends finisher, by the way.
Yeah. Very indie-rific, but I like it.
Very indie-rific.
Probably that tag team match that I can think of.
I have that one. My top 3 would probably be that one. The Royal Rumble match. I love the Rumble. The Men's Rumble. The Women's Rumble.
Yeah, the Men's Rumble was really good.
Love the Men's Rumble. And the third one would probably be, I know you weren't as high on it, but I love Tyler Bate and Jordan Devlin from that UK TakeOver show. I watched it back. I loved it that much.
Yeah, that was a good show. I think it was like that show. Like I don't remember it really.
No, I think it was one of the weaker ones. That's the thing. It kind of sucks because any momentum they had is completely gone because they haven't been able to do tapings in months. They haven't had a new episode of their show in like 2 months.
Oh,
your favorite part. It's coming up.
what, Joshi?
No, well, that, but a lot of tag team matches on the show, I just remember. And a lot of multi-man matches. No, but the post match.
Oh God.
I feel like the crowd was like, "Oh my God, who could it be?" And then the lights go back on and like, "Who are they?" Like,
Who are you?
why would you turn off the lights for that though? That's my question.
They shut the lights off again, and then they have the creepers.
Do they?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh my God."
Alex Marvez, like, I don't know who these guys are. Yeah, here are the creepers, yeah.
Oh yeah, the creepers, yeah. Well, I mean, this is Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, but yeah, afterward, yeah.
I died JR and Alex Marvez. I have no idea who these guys are.
JR doesn't care at all, like in terms of he's not going to pretend like he knows who they are. Marvez just doesn't even know what day of the week it is.
they just let freaking Excalibur just say who they are.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
know.
said, their picture is sick though.
Excalibur's like a big nerd though, so I think he actually genuinely knows who these people are. Like he knew who Butcher and Blade were before they showed up, because they have actually teamed before as the Butcher and Blade. But like 90% of the audience has no idea who those people are. Oh my God! Watch that finisher from Evil Uno. That's sick. I feel like I have not seen him do that.
He hasn't done it since.
That's a sick move.
It's like an end of days kind of looking.
Yeah, it is. It's even better though.
This move's cool though. They're like the gory bomb.
Yeah, I love the tag team finisher. I
It's
noticed
like
how
a gory bomb into like a front flip color.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a sick finisher. I don't think they haven't called them the Creepers in a while, which is good because it's just a dumb name. Like the whole they're all over the ring shirtless. It's just like a fucking. It's just weird.
I never understood that. Like when he like sits down on them, I don't know, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And here comes the tag team finisher. Bam.
Can't wait for the Joshi tag.
Can't wait to sit out of my hands.
Oh, it's
Yeah, this is the weird. I just don't get it. Thankfully, they ditched that pretty quick. Well, this is where they announce All Out.
mm-hmm.
Remember that? All In sold out in 4 minutes. When was the last time they sold out anything in 4 minutes?
Exactly. I was about to say that. I was like, that's dropped quickly.
I mean, they didn't even sell out. They haven't sold out most of the shows they've done, let alone sold out in 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's just because at first it just had such a big buzz.
Yeah.
That's kind of with anything. I mean, you expect the first couple shows to do that, and then like,
No, it makes sense. I'm not giving them shit. Just it makes sense.
just like it's not as special. So it's not like this event alone was their first show. So like, plenty of people from around the country fucking flocked to this.
I mean, look at us.
Me and GSM just being marks.
That was amazing. I don't know what fueled that decision because it was like it wasn't after they announced the company. You're just like randomly one day in February, like, hey, do you want to go to Double or Nothing? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go to Double or Nothing. And then we booked it, and then we went.
Yep.
But I don't know if it was like a match announcement or like it was just random. Like we didn't when the company was announced, they weren't like, oh, let's go to Vegas. Like we didn't even jokingly talk about it. We just went, you know.
Yeah. Because they got that press conference, they announced there's going to be in Vegas. I'm like, oh, when are tickets going on sale? I think it was like that week. They're like, when I get tickets?
Right,
Sure.
yeah. That's part of it too, though. I mean, we've discussed this before. I don't know if we've discussed. I mean, we kind of did a couple months ago, when we did the year-end, the decade-end Wrestle Rant show, the Wrestle Rant radio show. But like a lot of the stuff, I feel like I'd like to go to now is also to explore new cities, and also go back to places that I like. I mean, I had never been to Vegas before, so that's why I enjoyed going here.
Here's Rio with like 2 fucking big ass championships I've never. Alex Marvez talking about Rio like he has any idea who she is.
You have no clue. Wait, you're ahead? Did you skip ahead or something?
I like try to fast forward a little bit to catch up, and now I'm ahead.
Oh, that's why you're ahead. I was gonna say. I didn't know you were talking about the Rio belts thing.
Yeah, I don't remember this chick at all. Rio Muzunami.
Let me see. You could tell the fact that Rio came out first, they were positioning her as the biggest star. It's because Kenny Omega's really close with her, so. And
No, but it's interesting. It's interesting because they have this as like Team Sheet as what Seed has.
Oh, okay. I do not remember this
She's got
chick
the
at all.
same theme too.
What'd you say?
Said she just loses the same theme.
Oh, does she?
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear the thing. She hasn't come out yet.
See, she looks the same. I'm
With the
assuming
long,
she-
drawn-out intro?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, she has the same. She wears the same gear, so.
Kushida.
Yeah, it says that like their name is under Team Sheeta.
I
Weird.
saw that, yeah.
Fucking Riho carrying belts that was as important as the one around my waist right now.
The funny thing is that one of those titles, first of all, the one on the right on her left shoulder looks like the SmackDown Tag Team title. Second of all, those belts are like twice the size of the women's championship that the company has, which is embarrassing. The thing is like a dime.
For add a couple extra links on it for fucking Nyla Rose. Aja Khan, who cares? Isn't she like 50?
I just don't. Maybe they just brought her in for buzz initially, but like she never did anything after this. They teased something with her and Awesome Kong, but it went nowhere. I feel like you mentioned this before about Cheetah and her gear. She hasn't changed even the color scheme. I feel like she's been wearing the same exact gear for a year. I'd have to go back and watch her
the
matches.
Freddie Mercury chick wearing a belt around her neck.
Oh no.
I think she's the Freddie Mercury chick. Maybe not. She looks
Sakura
weird.
is. You're ahead.
So it's not her. This is the other girl.
Oh, Yuka Sakura.
Yes, I don't know. It's just the. Oh my god.
What is she doing? Why is she clapping the ring?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, what is up with this Yuka chick?
Ema Sakura with a mustache.
Oh, that was the dumbest thing. I just thought that whole thing was just stupid.
Dude, these marks loved it.
They did. This is
no. Sheeta looks like a star.
She does. She's got a great look.
Wait, guy had the mustache.
Just came out for me, yeah. Dude, I don't care. It's over in Japan. That's fucking dumb. It's stupid. That's like if Orange Cassidy went over to New Japan Pro Wrestling and they like just sat on their hands. You just don't do it. It just doesn't work. Maybe the mic, but like the mustache is too far. Where's Aja Kong?
Here she is right here. She looks like she's 1,000 years old.
Looks like a dinosaur.
Let's see how old this ancient Greek is. She's 49.
I'm gonna guess 52. That's my guess.
49.
Ooh, that was close. She got the Taz towel on her head. Yeah, she's hobbling.
She looks like the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior got thrown in a dryer.
God, this is amazing. She's hobbling, he says.
She's hobbling, dude.
She has a fucking trash bin with her.
She does. This is bad.
I don't understand why people are marking out over this. I do not remember this match being good.
No, I was like, oh, okay, it's cool they have her because she used to be, I don't know, I'm pretty sure she was WWF Women's Champion back in the day, but it's like, dude, that's 30 years ago. And it's cool and all, but like, I don't know, there's no reason to care in 2020. I feel like, just throw, I feel like they made a mistake by putting all the Joshi women in one match because it's not like they have a Joshi women's division, They intermingle it. So, like, why not showcase everybody? Put Rio in the multi-women's match. And then, like, take out Britt Baker and put her in here. Or Kylie Ray or something.
Yeah, I don't know why they put them all in the same match. Like I said, they're not even doing anything and the crowd's popping, so...
I just don't... I don't know. It's one of those things where the crowd's like, aha, yeah, let's go AEW. Like, I don't know. Like, they'll cheer... Well, I feel like if you get a crowd where they just cheer everything, nothing is special. NXT, to their credit, does that too, to their own fault. But some of the Full Sail crowds are like, cheer for anything. It's like, not everything is worth cheering for, dude. You gotta find a healthy balance there.
The worst is that this is awesome when stuff's just like a good match.
Yeah. I'm shocked neither of us got... I mean, I did not know about you. I'm shocked neither of us got up during this match to go to the bathroom or something or get food or whatever.
As soon as he's sitting on my hands.
I think it was at this point in the show where I go, hey, Mr. Marceau, can I borrow your phone?
Oh, God, don't remind me of that. That's brutal.
Amazing story here, folks. So when we're at the show, I realized that my wireless phone charger that I brought with me was not with me at the show. And I didn't lose it. I thought I did. It was in one of my bags. And then I realized, I didn't charge my phone because we were at the hotel, because we were out earlier on in the day. We went on the boardwalk earlier on in the day. You were like gambling and stuff like that. I went back up to the room. I called Alexis. I don't know what else we did that day. I think we just walked around and shit.
Yeah.
The M&M shop and whatever. My phone was dead. And I take all the pictures and videos on my phone. So, of course, it died halfway through. And asked Mr. Marceau, with like an hour and a half, 2 hours left in the show, if I could borrow his phone to take pictures and take video. And he said, fine. And then I used up his entire storage because it took like 7-minute videos. It was amazing.
Then trying to send the kid the fucking videos the next day was a hassle.
The next day? It was like the next week I was hassling you about that.
Yeah, we know. And they like wouldn't send. I'm like, oh my god.
I have not made that mistake since, thankfully. I've never made that mistake aside from then. And of course, the one show for that to happen was Double or Nothing. It wasn't like a random Raw taping. Like I didn't get the Bobby Lashley Lana wedding. Like, this is one of the biggest shows of the year.
Yeah, there's nothing special about this match at all. The crowd's
No,
going
nothing.
crazy.
God, Emi Sakura does absolutely nothing for me. Zero.
She's Freddie Mercury, right?
She's Freddie Mercury.
The other girl's even worse. The girl with the fucking orange pants, she has nothing for me.
Thank God they have
Like,
not brought
I
her
think
back.
I think she was on. She, like you said, I think she faced Britt Baker and lost, like at Revolution or something.
Oh, okay. What are you talking about? Like on the pre-show or something?
I don't know. I thought they faced off.
That chick I've never seen before. The one that just tagged in, Yuka, she was on Dynamite and she faced Britt and she got her ass beat. Because I remember she was bleeding from the mouth.
Yeah. Besides, yeah, I don't know. Rio just. I don't know. She didn't even. The worst part is I already feel like I remember her even having a breakout match in this.
She didn't, but the issue is too, dude, that she didn't have a breakout match, but she also didn't have. Can you recall a single promo that she's ever cut? One.
I don't think she's ever has.
Exactly. But
I
yeah,
think she's just friendly with Kenny Omega, so they just put the title on her.
oh my God, she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. I mean, I take that back. I've yet to see like a single great match from her. She had a couple. The one with Nyla Rose where she lost the title was actually pretty good. The matches with Britt sucked. The match with Emi Sakura was not good at Revolution. It was just who gives a shit. I don't know. I feel like character has a lot to do with your matches, because if no one cares, then why should I care, you know?
Exactly. Revolution, let's see here. Yeah, Revolution, she faced Britt Baker and Penelope Ford with Yuka Sakazaki.
Yuka did?
Riho and Yuka faced Penelope Ford and Britt Baker, it says.
Revolution.
Yes.
Holy shit, I do not remember that. At all.
Because of the pre-show.
Dude, that was 3 months ago, and I have no recollection of that. Zero. That's terrible. The buy-in, I'm sorry. Wait,
Actually,
did I even watch the
it
buy-in?
says a dark match. It doesn't even say what's on the buy-in.
Oh, that's why. Oh! You know what they did with that? It was on Dark. They taped it at the pay-per-view, but they aired it on Dark like 2 days later. That's why. I do remember it, but like I completely forgot.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they had like Dark Order versus like SCU on the pre-show on the buy-in, I think, instead. That's why it was.
How sloppy was that right there? When she went for the pin, they were trying to break it up, and they just stopped.
Yeah.
Like, look what's happening right now. You're gonna die. Aja Khan just she's about to give her a pile driver, and they're just all standing in the ring.
Let's see. I just got the scoop slam. Diving elbow. 1, 2. That was bad. Why wouldn't you just go break up the pinfall? Oh, yeah, I remember. I remember this match being so... They're all waiting in the corner. Why are they doing that?
It's just a Japanese thing. I don't get it.
She just like, dude, let me get me out of here. She just
Like I said,
already.
the thing about this match is for how critically acclaimed people were loving this match, I totally forgot Sheeta was even in the match. I remember Riho was, just because I remember right when we saw her, we were like, what is that, Kairi Sane Light?
Yeah,
But I do not remember Sheeta at all. That's so bad. But I really do like her. I think she's come a long way.
Sheeta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Sheeta. She's probably, and I'd say Britt's my favorite women's wrestler in the division, and then Sheeta would probably be second. I
And
like
then
Allie and
Sakura.
but they just haven't given me enough reason to care. And then Penelope's, she's improving too.
And then Ema Sakura is your second, third favorite?
You mean Joey Mercury? Or Freddie Mercury? She's so bad. I remember we went to Dynamite and we're like, dude, this is so stupid. She was in action on that show that we went to in Boston. Like, dude, who gives a
Who's
fuck?
your face?
I think she was a tag team match. I think it was her and... Might have been her and Rio versus... No. I think Britt and Riho had teamed up because they faced each other the following week, and they faced Emi Sakura and... God, I don't even know. It's how forgettable the match was. But she was at the show because I remember I was ranting to Alexis about it on the way home. How bad it was. The division has improved a lot, though, because I like Chris Statlander. She's a good addition. Okay, maybe not improved that much, but, I mean, they do have a couple more people that I care about now compared to a year ago. What is this rope thing this chick is doing?
I don't know. The crowd's eating it up, though. $619.
619. How far ahead are you?
I'm at 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 49 seconds.
Holy shit, you're 20 seconds ahead of me. That's why.
I'll slow down. What time are you at now?
37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44.
I'm at 55, so let me know when you're there.
46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55.
Alright, I'm at 55 now, so
Cool.
perfect. She just tossed Rio,
Yeah, I got that, yeah.
and now they're running in the corner again. I fucking hate
We were
that.
like, what? But that shouldn't hold them back. Like,
Also, I'm pretty sure she just counted 3.
oh, I missed that. I was looking in the corner. Jesus, bombs away.
I gotta go back and watch that. I gotta make sure it's...
Are you going back to check?
I want to just... It looked like Aubrey Edgar counted 3, but then like went for the 4, and then no one was even paying attention. So... No.
Oh my
it
god.
was-
She just threw the garbage can in the ring.
There it is. I'm at 12. Yeah, I just saw it. She has the garbage can in her hand now, and she missed Sheeta. Now she has the
She's whacking her
stupid
with the
stick.
thing. Wait, what time are you at? What time are you at?
Well, 52.
Okay, I'm like 8 seconds ahead.
Now I'm at 03, 04.
Oh, okay, you're like 2. Okay, you're right behind me. That's fine.
You just hit her off the head with the stupid garbage can.
Yeah, the plastic garbage can.
All right, goes Freddie Mercury. Hey, the crowd's going nuts for that.
Why though? This went on way longer than it should have, to be honest.
I do not understand why the crowd was like fucking shitting their pants over this match.
Dude, social media I remember too is blowing up over like, wow, what a great match. Like, it wasn't that good.
It wasn't good at all, really. It was just the
Really
crowd just
wasn't.
wanted to make it. If it was just based on crowd reaction, you would have thought it was an instant classic.
Like, do you know who? Like, no one. Like, people are like, oh man, what a great showcase of the Joshi women. Like, you don't even know who these people are. Don't pretend like you know.
I
everything
don't
about
think any of
Sheeta.
them really had a great performance. They're just kind of there.
Yeah. Are Sheeta's pants falling off? What's going on with Sheeta's pants here?
No, it's just they're always like that.
Is that her
like,
style? Okay.
it's the style. It's a cut on like the back. I know. I always first I thought it was like I'm like is her fucking tights ripped? But no. Riho just jumped in for no reason.
Yep, there's Riho. I do like her gear though. It's very Harley Quinn-esque. And that's what she goes for with the gear, but she's just
Yoshida,
Hushida, yeah.
and she's not my girl freaking Ema Sakura. Now this chick with the red hair is doing a
Dude, How is Riho stopping Aja Kong from getting in the ring? She's like 80 pounds.
Sakazawa just flying. See, like, this is just a train wreck now.
Excalibur's calling it like it's Stone Cold versus Rock. JR's like, what's going on right now?
JR has no idea.
He has no clue. I have no clue. Whee!
Yeah, like you said, Excalibur's calling this is like the triple threat ladder match in 17.
70, yeah, exactly. He thinks it's the Silver Dome all over again. Amy Sakata. Woo! Oh. Dude, I totally forgot about that.
Same.
She kicked out at 2 and they still rang the bell. That's so bad.
Yeah, we totally forgot about that.
I totally forgot about that. This is when we're like, dude, just end this shit, please.
Yeah, they're chanting you fucked up.
Oh, are they?
I totally forgot about that,
So
dude.
did
Holy
I.
shit.
That's a pretty bad mess up. It's the Las Vegas screw job. Uh-oh.
Dude, Aja Kong should just... Shining Wizard!
Running knee?
Is that her finisher? I don't think it is.
No, she has a better finisher now, I feel. Otherwise, I would remember her having the Daniel Bryan running knee. The knee! The B+ knee! The knee that won him the WWE title. Jesus, that was a train wreck. Well, before it goes any further, I'm going to go grab a charger real quick for my laptop so it doesn't die while we're watching it. So I'll be back in like 45 seconds.
I'll be right here.
Yeah, keep the show going, though, so we don't have to mess it up because we're like perfectly in sync right now.
Alright.
I'll be back.
Jesus, that was brutal.
There we go. Now I can hear you. Is it Cody and
You
Dustin
just
right now?
missed it. Yeah, you missed it. They're just sitting in the three and they're showing JR, Marvez.
I saw that. Yeah, when I walked by.
Jim Ross goes, I honestly have no idea where we are right now. And
Is that what he
Marvez
said?
is like, yeah, and Marvez goes, Cody and Dusty. He's like, yeah. Yeah.
It's past JR's bedtime.
That's brutal.
How much were you freaking out of this video package?
I love this video package. I think it's
very
so good.
good. Oh, Cody is training with MJF.
Too bad they blew through that load in 2 seconds.
This was a very good video package. I remember when it aired on YouTube and you sent it to me and you're like, I need this match, man. No,
We thought it was going to be him and Sean Spears. I'm like... Then they did that like the next month.
Yeah, they did it. They belted it within 2 seconds. Blew through that pretty quickly.
Can't wait till Cody comes out with the sledgehammer.
Get the crap all over that. It was so dumb. I
Loved
maintain
it.
that was stupid. I'm sorry. So
What?
stupid. I hated that.
Wow.
You know I hated that. People are like, oh, you're such a mark. Like, how dare you? Like, no. If WWE did it, then it would be stupid if they did it too. I don't care. I just don't think it's necessary. Like
You
when,
better get them.
for example, like when Sammy did that whole AEW when he was in the electric chair thing. I mean, it wasn't taking a shot at them, but it was like, why would you do that? Like, why did you do that?
Stupid.
Oh, God. I love the over-the-top entrance for Cody.
Wrestling is
Wrestling is only one. Royal family.
He does a really good entrance. I love his theme.
He does have a good entrance. It's just I just don't think this whole thing is necessary.
I loved it. He comes out with a fucking cape.
Remember when
Looks like fucking Gaston when he comes out.
Gaston kid loves Beauty and the Beast. That's a great. That's a bop. No one moves like Gaston. No one sings like Gaston.
Did you watch Beauty and the Beast for me? Or?
No, I have not. I
Wow,
forgot
terrible.
about that. You did watch Hercules, so now I feel bad. I was busy, but maybe I'll try to watch it later. Today,
Yeah,
Wednesday?
watch Hercules. It's a great movie.
Love Hercules. Love Hades. Love when he's like getting mad and then he looks over at the little like monsters and they have like the Hercules sandals on and they're drinking through the.
Yeah, he hears like them squeaking. He looks over. He's got this, and then the other guy's sipping on the soda. So funny.
I love that movie so much. I love what's his name? The guy from everyone. Danny DeVito as
DeVito.
Phil. He's so
Chris
funny
Phil.
too.
Such a good movie.
I still. I'll watch Aladdin and then I'll watch Beauty and the Beast. Because I haven't seen Aladdin. That version of the live version.
I rewatched. Me and Molly watched the remake of Aladdin again. Honestly, it might be my favorite. It's so good.
Really, that's saying a lot. Did you like Lion King? Did you see Lion King or no?
And I didn't love the remake. I don't know.
That was
Maybe
good.
it was good. I don't know. With the live animals, it just doesn't. I don't know.
No, I
I didn't
understand.
love Timon and Pumbaa. They look weird.
I thought they did a good job with Timon and Pumbaa, but in terms of how they looked, yeah, I mean the original's way better.
Cody.
That's like how they're making one of my favorite my favorite Disney movies is Lilo and Stitch, and they're remaking that. Like, how do you even do that?
Oh, I love Lilo and Stitch. The original's so good.
It's a great movie. That's what I'm saying. How do you even remake that movie with real people? It just there's a reason why it's an animated movie. Not everything has to be live action.
But that's what they're going for at this point.
I'll give Mulan a chance. I like Mulan when I watched that on Disney Plus.
The
The new
thing
one. Yeah.
I heard the new one sucks.
Oh yeah, I forgot you told me that.
They like added things to the movie that like don't even like. She has like a sister in the movie, which she doesn't have in the original. They
No,
don't.
she
I guess they don't
doesn't.
sing in the new movie really. Like the songs in Mulan are like the best part of it.
They don't have the same songs?
I guess they don't. I guess they said they're not even singing in it. That's what I heard.
That's weird. I thought every Disney movie is like a musical.
Cody
Oh,
with the
God.
sledgehammer. Like, this is just so dumb.
Dude, this is so stupid. I love how he tried to, like, the funny thing is that initially he tried to work his way around it by saying, like, oh no, well, like, I did it for X, Y, and Z. And then he came out later and was like, yeah, we did it as the shot to Triple H, like, because you can't deny it. And then the marks are eating it up.
So stupid.
And we thought it was dumb at the time, too.
I still think it's stupid.
I still
It
think
served
it's
no
stupid.
purpose. It just looked stupid too. Like he hits and all of a sudden, like one little piece crumbles off it, and a big smoke falls off it. It just looked dumb.
I'm watching a Disney Channel original movie production here.
It just like I said, the worst part is it had nothing to do with the match.
No,
It
nothing
just
to do with anything.
bad. Well, just it gets the fucking fat marks going.
It's for their 600,000 viewers on Wednesdays on TNT for them to say.
This is Cody's best match in AEW so far.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm trying to think. He's had a lot of great matches. The funny thing is that we've said this before. You've never been the biggest Cody fan, I know. I love when Justin Roberts announces him. He's always been about the smoke and mirrors, no pun intended. But I feel like that's worked better for him in AEW. Because I know you didn't watch much of his Ring of Honor run, but he had matches there with like Jay Lethal and Dalton Castle. They weren't that good because that company's more like wrestling based, so it doesn't really work well with that. WWE is all character, so he had no memorable matches at all. So he does great at the character stuff, but he is a good balance of both, and I feel like AEW has that. They have good characters and they have good wrestling. Like I love this match. I thought the Shawn Spears match was all right. Didn't love the MJF match. The Jericho match was great. And he's had some very good matches on TV with Darby Allin. I think they have good chemistry.
I think the MJF one, that one was like more smoke and mirrors. Like that was just like interferent related.
Yeah, no, like the belt, and I hated that.
Like doing it, like you can do it a little bit and for me, you can get away with it a little bit. But you know me, I've never been the biggest interference fan. That MJF match is.
No, it was full of interference. It was chock full of it, saddled with interference.
I'm praying the match at Double or Nothing this year doesn't. I don't want to see Brandy get involved with Jake and then Arn. Like who cares?
I really hope not, because they were doing some great work going into the show. And Archer's awesome. He's really won me over. I liked when he was in WWE. I actually saw him debut in ECW, which is funny. I was at the show when he debuted. And he's just a physically imposing guy. I'm surprised that WWE never gave him another shot, because he seems like a guy that they would want.
Yeah, but I think for them too, you'd just be like a mid card guy if that.
No, it makes sense.
But definitely Dustin.
I
just think
Dustin,
I think just like the scenery change and then just the new look kind of just like revitalized him a little bit.
yeah.
Like I don't think like at the end of his career he was having bad matches at WWE. It wasn't like he was having stinkers. Just like along, it just kind of got stale. I feel like.
Yeah,
so like changing the look in the paint and everything, it just helped him a ton.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they did have him. He felt rejuvenated when he but he turned heel. That one time a couple of years ago when he turned in R-Truth. That had potential.
Doing like the theater stuff and it never went anywhere?
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was pretty cool and then went absolutely nowhere. And it's a shame, but like you said, he was never, it's not like, oh man, they really missed the boat in Goldust. Like, they just, it's all about circumstance, dude. Like, they were never going to put like the Intercontinental title on him again, nor should they have. Like, that would have been a joke. But like, it's a new company. He's facing his brother. It's an amazing match, and he's had some good matches since then. He can still go. But, like, I don't think I could have... You're at a certain place for so long. Like, for example, Dolph has been there for so long, I can't take him seriously. I will never take him seriously again in WWE. But if he leaves and comes to AEW, it's not like, oh, man, you loved him here, but you hated him here. Yeah, because he's stale there.
Yeah.
You know, like they were talking about that with the Legion of Doom on their Dark Side of the Ring a couple weeks ago. They were saying how they never got stale because they were constantly jumping from territory to territory. And I mean, you can't leave and, you can't show up and leave places within 6 months.
I just also think, especially with those mid-card guys, I just, like, for Ziggler especially, like, he's still been the same guy. Like, he had to change it up a little bit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's like the guys that stay the longest, that can stay the relevance the most. The guys that like Rollins. He's only been there for probably like what 7 years, but he's probably changed his character 7 times.
No, he's changed his character a lot. Ziggler feels like he's been the same forever. Face, heel, doesn't even matter anymore.
Like 80s t-shirts and freaking shaking his ass. Like, cool, dude.
Yeah, I think the closest he came to changing his character was when he started wearing pants instead of tights like 5 years ago. That was that. That was like the biggest change.
I feel like just now everything is like if you want to go to shit, put Dolph Ziggler involved. Like the whole Mandy and Otis shit, they had to put him in there. Like, who cares?
Yeah, he's faced everybody, and I feel like he's suffering from the same thing as Natalya, where, 10 years ago people.
That's a great example.
Yeah, I feel like, great wrestler. Natalya's very good. I'm not going to say she's bad. But they've been there for so long, and they've turned face and heel so many times, and they've done everything with everybody that just no one cares. And another thing, too, is that, 10 years ago, Dolph Ziggler probably was one of the best wrestlers in the company. But in 2020, they have so many better people than him that he's, like, average at best. Same thing with Natalya. 10 years ago, they had no good women's wrestlers because it was all divas and shit. So, of course, she was the best. In 2020, they had the 4 Horsewomen and all these other ladies that are far better than she is. Especially as a character.
Yeah,
her character was terrible. Right. What'd you say?
Yeah. I said, you're nailing it right in the head. Back then, she was good. Like the best wrestler in the division. I had really no one. And now she's a good wrestler in the division. A ton of good wrestlers, but like you said, she's been there for so long. And just like, I don't take her as a threat anymore. Like, whenever she was like, last year or the year before, when she's like contending for the title, it's like, no.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm glad Sheena squashed her in like 3 minutes this week. That was funny. Did you see the Stardust thing? I don't know if you're ahead of me.
Yeah, I just saw it.
I love that. You used to do that in the Ring of Honor all the time. Pop, man. I hated Stardust. We've talked about this before, but he did a great job with the character, but it was so stupid. Like, they should have never done the Stardust thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole Cosmic, if they actually went through with the Cosmic Wasteland thing and actually made it somewhat good, it could have gone somewhere, but that was just like a flop and a half. I
agree. I think if they actually, devoted real creativity to it, it could have been entertaining. Tommy Sharp said that same thing. He was like, yeah, they could do this and that. I'm like, but that requires creativity, and they just don't have that with some of these people, especially with the Ascension, but...
It's crazy seeing how far they've come. Oh, my God.
It's nuts.
Like I was rewatching the NXT takeovers, like they were so over. I will say also the division sucked back then.
No, it was bad.
They were pulling too cool out of fucking retirement to face them.
Again,
like, they faced
Same thing. They were, the best of the bunch at that point, but they had nobody. So of course they're going to look good in comparison to everyone else. Hunico and Camacho they had at that point. What a joke.
Yeah, and then they faced like Kalisto and Ricardo Rodriguez. I was like, Jesus.
I remember that. Yeah.
El Local. I was like, Jesus.
El Local or something like that.
Yeah, El Local, the local.
So stupid. That guy was on borrowed time. Ricardo, they were like, yeah, we have nothing for you since I think Del Rio was still there at that point. They just didn't want to reunite them for some reason. They just kept them apart. And they gave him a shot as a wrestler, and they just went nowhere, and the match sucked. Like, that match is not good. And then they fired him like a week later.
And then the next takeover, they faced the Lucha Dragons, and that's when they lost the belts.
Yeah, that's when they finally lost them, yeah.
Jesus.
Amazing to think how long Sin Cara was there, too. He was there for like 8 years. He was there for a long time.
Yeah, and then they switched Sin Cara's halfway through.
Yeah. I feel like we could have gotten this Cody on the Stardust thing.
See ya.
Jeez, oh god, Dusty Rhodes tribute.
What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say that they could have done this Cody Rhodes. It doesn't really bother me because it's not like he's past his prime anymore. Like he's still like in his mid-30s. Cody was, lucky enough to start when he was young. They could have had this Cody though 5 years ago when they were doing the Stardust stuff. Like he was getting over. Like he was like the people wanted him to win Money in the Bank, and they just never.
They missed the boat on that. That Money in the Bank, I don't mind.
That's why I hate the Stardust thing, because it's like if he's stale and he has no future, then I kind of get it. But like he was over as himself, and they just wanted to make him Goldust 2.0, and I just didn't like it at all.
Yeah, it's silly.
Thankfully, though, again, he has age on his side, so like he has plenty of years left. Like he could do this if he wants. I mean, granted, fucking Taker's 55 and stuff in matches, but he could always go back to WWE at some point. I was gonna say in like a couple of years, but like if he's the president of the AEW, that probably won't happen. But
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he's gonna be going back anytime soon. But...
no, it won't be for like it won't be another. It won't be in his prime. I'll say that much. If he went to Ring of Honor, it'd be like, okay, yeah, he'll be back in a couple of years, and they almost did, and then they didn't. So,
what do you think would happen if those guys actually went to NXT?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think they would have gone NXT. I think the plan, according to them, was for Cody to go to the main roster again, which, I mean, as he should have. I know McIntyre went back to NXT, but Cody was like, he's a big enough star where I think it was okay. He would have gone to the main roster. Kenny, of course, would have gone to the main roster. I think he was supposed to face AJ at Mania, which is why that Orton feud kind of came out of nowhere last year, because I think they were going to do Kenny and AJ if Kenny signed. And then the Bucks would have gone to the main roster. And then Adam Page was offered like a top-level deal in NXT. Like when Styles and Gallows and Anderson went to the main roster and then Nakamura went to NXT, that's kind of what would have happened there. And they would have given him like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of who's like the equivalent to Adam Page. Maybe Adam Cole? Maybe? Like they would have given the Adam Cole push? Like, I don't know. They gave Kushida like the grand entrance, and he's done absolutely nothing in the last year, so I don't think that would have happened with Adam Page, though. Kushida's different just because they're not always... I was going to say it's a Japanese thing, but Nakamura was NXT champion. I don't know. But I do think...
but Nakamura came in as like a bigger star.
No, he did, with way more fanfare, too.
Way more buzz.
Yeah, Kushida came in as like a... He was in the cruise. I think a lot of people forget he was in their cruiserweight division over in New Japan. I mean, he was amazing at it, but he was never going to get beyond a certain level. And I think he can in WWE, but so far not so good. But I think the Elite would have done well for themselves. I think Omega could be a modern day AJ, if they booked him properly. Like the only reason AJ is where he's at is because of that feud with John Cena and those matches with Roman. If he lost all those matches, the guy would be in Jinder spot right now. Like he would have been over for a cup of coffee, then he would have just been a loser. Like Nakamura, he would literally be Nakamura right now.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, they've actually done well by him. So
who?
AJ.
Yeah, AJ. Yeah, I'm actually. If there's any, but I will say though, if there's any one person I'm happy they did do well by, like if I had to choose, if you told me 5 years ago, okay, all these people are coming to the company, which one? If only one you can push, who would you push among Nakamura, AJ? I mean, Kevin Owens has been very successful. He's in a better spot than Nakamura, but like he should.
Oh, way better.
Yeah, way better, but he should also be like a top guy. But like I would say AJ. I would be like, yeah, push AJ, and thankfully they have.
Yeah, seriously. I think Kevin Owens has done well. I would say he's had a good career so far.
No, he definitely has. I'm not going to say he's Nakamura's spot because he's always relevant and he's still over and whatever. But I do think that he also could be slightly better. Like, he's not in the Nakamura Asuka territory where it's like, okay, they badly booked him, but he's been successful. They have booked him not the greatest at times. Like, when he was Universal Champion, they butchered it. I mean, he was champion for a while, but, like, they completely, emasculated the guy by having the authority overshadow him constantly at that point.
Yeah.
Just did not do him any favors. But I do think he could be bigger. Like, he came in and beat John Cena on night one. Like, he could be... Like, he's not on AJ's level is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, no doubt. But I think also just coming in at it, like, AJ was just a bigger star at the time as well. AJ was huge. Like, everyone knows who fucking AJ Styles is. When Kevin Owens came, it's not like I didn't know who he really was.
I agree, but the difference is that they had again, I think those matches with Cena really were what cemented AJ, because if Owens had beaten Cena in the end, as he should have, not lost twice, which made no sense, I think he'd be better off. Because, like, literally right after that, dude, he won the Intercontinental title scene. When, like, we were at that time, we were talking about, like, how he could face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, or, like, for a Brock feud. At this point, that makes no sense. Like, he'd be beaten in 10 seconds, yeah. I feel like. Just because they've established him as a step below, Brock Lesnar and those guys. AJ is on that level. I don't think Kevin Owens is in terms of booking.
Yeah.
I completely forgot booted band. What'd you say?
I would say he's, like I said, compared to most other people, he's been booked very well.
No, yeah. If I would,
Besides, like, the Shield and the Four Horsewomen, I would say he's probably one of the up there with the guys that...
no, he is. Yeah, absolutely. He's. Yeah, I would say he's on. I think the only difference I was gonna say he's on the Shield's level. He's on Rollins' level. The only difference is that Rollins is gonna be here for the next 5 to 10 years. AJ's out of here in like 2 years. Like when his contract expires, he's done. So. Like
Yeah, I think at this point, Rollins will be a lifer at this point.
No, Rollins is a lifer. He started young. Not that young, but he started young enough where like they have like 10 years, if not more, out of him. AJ, they don't
And the
have
company's
anything.
always done well by him. They've never really screwed him over.
He's never felt not special. Like that's what I'm saying. Owens is, at various points has felt not special.
Yeah, I agree.
AJ, is back and forth. Actually no. AJ has always felt special for the most part. Even,
Even
that's
when
why I
he
think
was
he's
with
on
the club,
Rollins'
they
level.
didn't really mean much.
What'd you say?
I said even when he was with the club and they really didn't mean much.
Yeah, he still felt like a star, He didn't. It's not like, oh my God, he lost to Cedric, like they ruined AJ. I don't think anyone could ever say they've ever ruined AJ at any point.
Yeah.
Like some matches were underwhelming, like the Nakamura stuff, but that's not his. That's not a booking thing.
Exactly.
That
No, I
hurt
completely
Nakamura
agree.
more than it hurt AJ. That's another story.
Remember, I would love to hear the archives of that WrestleMania going into. I was just blowing how great that match was going to be. It stunk.
Nah, I know. Well, everyone was raving about it.
The worst part was the heel turn. I was like on favor with it. I'm like, oh, like it's new for Nakamura, like to win, like be a big deal, and they just did nothing for the guy.
It's one of those things, though. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, I didn't want him to turn heel. It's so random, but to the point where it's like, it's not random, it's good. It's just random for the sake of being random. But
It was
we
like
were
a
also
swerve
saying-
in the case of being a swerve.
Exactly. But it was one of those things where we were like, okay, I'll give it a chance, and hopefully they can. You know what? He never won a title as a babyface. Maybe he wins that as a heel. He lost another 4 times to AJ Styles, so it's like he's as much of a loser. He's a loser. Face or heel, he's a loser.
Yeah, when he was losing that freaking what's his face, the fucking
Jinder?
Jinder. Oh my god.
That's a career killer. He never really. I mean, he won the Rumble, but it's hard to rebound from something like that.
Yeah, then he lost the WrestleMania. I still don't. I don't know. I remember we just thought like I don't even know what we thought. We thought it was just like we saw like 2 great Royal Rumble matches, 2 like future stars of the company, and they both lose at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think Cody could have been a bigger deal. The issue with Cody at the time, especially when he was coming up, was just like they had so many like big stars that like I don't think they could have like I don't think the crowd would have taken to him if what they could have now. Like I think right now, if he was still in the company, he would mesh well with like Rollins and Reigns and like those kind of guys. But back then with like Cena and Triple H, Taker, it's just like he wasn't on their level. So even if they pushed him, I just don't think the crowd would even gotten behind him to what he would have been now.
I agree. When he first started out, I agree. But I think that's why I think it was smart to put him in the tag team division for as long as they did. Like he was with Ted DiBiase for a while. He was with Drew McIntyre, a few other people. Damian Sandow. I think after the Damian Sandow thing and after the Goldust team ran its course, it's like, okay, this guy's ready for that next spot. Because back in 2014, you got to remember, they had like no stars, dude. Like they had Daniel Bryan, and he got hurt. The guy would, freaking sneeze and he would get injured. Kane was main eventing pay-per-views at that point.
Yeah, I guess I can remember that.
I think Cody.
That's
That's what I'm
right
saying.
when he-
Cody could have been in that spot. It was that weird period in between what you're talking about and then before 2016 when like all these great wrestlers came in with like AJ and Nakamura and Roderick and people like that.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of a weird dynamic then, but I don't know. Like you said, if any time that was the time to push him, because like you said, it was kind of like that weird dynamic of guys retiring or just not full time.
It was that's why the Shield got over though, dude. Because it was during that weird period where they had no stars and they needed stars, so they made them stars.
Seriously, imagine if they lost that 6-man at TLC.
Elimination Chamber, TLC too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. These things matter than more people think. Like going into that match, I'm thinking if they lose, they're literally the next Nexus. They're done. But because they won and they continue to win, they're literally main event talent. All it takes is one match. Because if Ryback won any of those matches with Cena or Punk or whatever, he would still be here. Like, it's all it takes sometimes is one loss or a couple of losses to really cement people as losers.
It's more the fact that if you're losing big matches, that's really what cements it.
Yeah,
Like on the
that's what
big
I'm saying.
stage.
Yeah.
Like you said, if they lost their first big match and just lost, you're like, okay, maybe they'll recover, and then they just keep losing. They lose Elimination Chamber, they lose WrestleMania, and then they're like, people are like, okay, these guys are losing.
Yeah, and then I just don't care. Yeah.
Yeah,
It just gets
I
to a point
completely
where it's
agree.
like, yeah, I don't know. That's their issue with creating stars. But like we were talking about earlier on the show, I think AEW, they haven't really ran into that issue yet. Because, like, for example, if MJF lost to Cody at that pay-per-view, it would have been like, why would you do that? Like, that'd be insanely dumb. It's not a good thing or a bad thing with them. I feel like they just need to do a better job of creating more original stars. Like, Cody's great. He's over. But, like, he's the EVP of the company. Like, we need a Darby Allin. We need a Jungle Boy. We need an MJF to really rise up. And they're doing well by most of these people. And maybe I'm just not giving it enough time. But, like, Adam Page can be one of those people, I think.
Yeah, I think he could be like one of the top stars.
Unfortunately, the COVID thing ruined it, but yeah.
I mean, before that, once like they won the tag titles, I remember like on the Jericho Cruise, he was fucking wicked over.
That was the start of it. I wasn't high on them teaming initially. I know we've discussed this, but I've really turned a corner on them teaming. They're like one of the best tag teams in the business right now.
Like this wasn't no DQ, right?
No, this was regular.
Or he's about to whip him with the belt.
Yeah,
or no, he smacks him in the ass or something. Or hits him. Yeah, doesn't Goldust use the belt and smack him on the ass with it?
And they show his ass. Why are they doing that? Ew. They're like... Okay, well, first of all...
Bare ass get spanked?
The obvious... There's no reason for him to be using the belt because he should get DQ'd. The second thing... Did he really need to pull his pants down and just smack him in the bare ass? I know he's his brother, but, like... Did you really need to focus the camera on the guy's ass for, like, 5 seconds? That's not...
At least it wasn't the Big Show's dimply ass from fucking WrestleMania 21.
Don't remind me. I'm still losing my lunch over that. People are eating this up.
Yeah, the crowd's going nuts. It definitely was a good match.
Yeah, I don't know... No, I wouldn't say it was the match of the year, but I would put it in the conversation, though.
It was definitely... I'm trying to think what our match of the year was.
I think I said Cole Gargano, New York.
Yeah,
pretty sure you did, too.
I mean, I'm very impartial to fucking Cole Gargano at TakeOver 25. That fucking pop. I need to watch it back. When he hits the Panama Sunrise and hits the last shot, I'm pretty sure I ripped out my pants.
I love that show. That was a great show, great match.
I don't think I've ever yelled 1, 2, 3 louder.
I know, that was awesome.
I will say in New York though, they had us on the fucking. They were like pulling our teeth out for that.
Two of the greatest matches.
Many near falls. It was like at the end when you thought like, okay, like that's the difference. I feel like we're near falls. I hate when they just do them just to do them, and it's just like, come on.
No, it was great. We were fortunate enough to be there for those 2 great matches. Although I will say, I forgot, you did say, I said Cole Gargano, New York was the match of the year. You know what you said was the match of the year last year?
Becky and Sasha.
Yep,
fucking love that match. Love that match.
Very good match.
Oh, too bad she's going to be a mom now.
Is a mom?
I don't know.
You I understand.
I don't know. Like, not that she's. Obviously, I saw a thing and she was like, I wanted to wait. Like, obviously, my career is important, but like, I wanted to like find the right person in the industry to be the one. So clearly, her and Rollins, they're getting. Like, I don't know if they actually got married yet. I know they were engaged. I don't know if like COVID fucked that all up or what. But like, I don't know. Not that cheapens it, but just like she was literally at the top. She was still like over pretty big. Like,
well, I mean, I think it was an accident. I would assume, right? I mean, it'd have to be.
Yeah, I mean, she said that she was like at this point she was fine of becoming like she wanted to focus on starting a family. So I don't think it really was an accident.
I don't know. I hear that, but I'm also like, dude, she's never been hotter. She never will be hotter. Like, she was on that Billions TV show a couple weeks ago. She's doing all the media appearances. Like, I feel like I can't.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's so preventable, GSM. So she really didn't want her to get pregnant. I mean, they could have really.
I mean, it is possible. I mean, yeah, but I mean, you can still get pregnant even with a. I mean, we're not gonna have the birds and the bees talk right here, but I mean, it could still happen.
It can happen, but I mean, I don't know. I
mean, it happens all the time. People have accidents all the time.
Yeah, I'm just saying. My
Little
myself,
late, that's
like,
all.
yeah, I'm just like, because like I said, at first I thought it was like probably an accident too, but then I read a thing like she was saying basically back a couple of months ago, like she was fine with where her career has gone to, and now she wanted to focus on her family. But like I said, it's also like you said, she was never at this point. She'll never be more popular. I'd probably say going to WrestleMania 35, she was the hottest she's ever been. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I
she's
feel
also
like from there it would have gone down. But I think she can definitely come back and do a couple like one-offs and maybe have a little run. But obviously,
yeah, I don't know. I just don't think she'll be back anytime soon. Is my guess.
well, yeah, I don't.
I don't know. I mean, good for her. I mean, you get pregnant, but I just don't think. For example, with Ronda Rousey, she's like, all right, I want to start a family. So she's like, I'm going to be here through WrestleMania, and then I'm taking off. And she did just that. I mean, she didn't start a family. The fact that Becky got pregnant before her is kind of funny when you think about it that way. But I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. She was pregnant before WrestleMania. I would assume if the timeline matches up. But, like, I think it just would have made more sense that they're like, all right, we'll take the title off of her if you want to take time off to go do your thing. I mean, you can't take time off to get pregnant when your boyfriend is or your fiance is still on the road or still wrestling, but I don't know. I mean, good for her though.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean,
You can't really plan. I mean, you can't really like, oh, I'm gonna go get pregnant. Like some people want to get pregnant, they can't. Some people don't want to, and they do. So
I was gonna say sometimes it's just kind of
life happens. It is what it is.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that want to have a kid and they try and they can't, and then some people are like, if we get pregnant, we get it. If we're not, we're not, and they do or not. Or some people are like, I don't want to, and it just happens. I mean, kind of a crazy situation.
Yeah, it just this is what it is. But
I just,
like
I said, I just thought it was weird because, like I said, she was still like on the top of her
Yeah.
game. It's not like she was like Natalia status and she was kind of like over with. That's kind of like where I was. I was like, yeah, great for her, but I feel like she could have got a little bit more out of it.
Yeah, no, I mean that'll always be my thought, but like at the same time, like she's having.
But hey, if she's happy with whatever she did, that's all that matters.
That's why I don't think people should get their hopes up for her being back. Oh my god, like they're doing the math, like oh my god, she's getting pregnant in December, she'll be back by February. Like it doesn't work like that, dude. You just don't have a baby then come back. I know Maurice, I think, wrestled a match a couple months after having the kid. First of all, she didn't wrestle a full-time schedule. Second of all, it was a one-off match.
Same with Brie Bella.
Yeah, it was that tag team match or something. Like, yeah, Brie Bella too. She had a kid and she came back years later. Like, and Brie was never the top star, or Maurice that Becky Lynch is. I just don't think. But you also have to remember too. Like with Maurice, she came back for a one-off, but they had someone watch. Same thing with Brie Bella. They talked about this on Total Divas or Total Bellas or whatever. Who's gonna watch the kid if they're both on the road? Like, they had a kid, and then obviously Brie has to stay home to watch the kid. And then when she was back on the road with Daniel Bryan doing the Evolution thing a couple years ago, they were freaking out because they had no one to watch the kid.
Well, I mean, if you have parents that are still alive that can watch the kid, but yeah.
I mean,
you also
constantly,
I mean, also, once you're kind of deciding or have a kid, you have to kind of get to that point. It's like, the kid's more important than... I don't know. I just thought it was kind of crazy when that all happened, but I mean, she seems happy with it, so good for them. And not like they're both like older or anything, but they're both like in their low to mid 30s, and I mean, once you kind of get around 40, it starts getting kind of more health risks come in. So I mean, if she's gonna start a family, it's kind of at this point, it's kind of like the best for her.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I love how they re-show him hitting the fucking throne again.
What'd you say?
They just showed Cody hitting the throne again, like, dude, who cares?
I know. Why would you replay that, you know?
Because they love it. Because the marks ate it up, that's why.
Ridiculous.
Fucking Brandy taking a bump, like, stop. Earl Hebner's not with the company, that was just a one-off, right?
I feel like they bring him in for big matches. I feel like they brought him in for... What was it? Jericho and Cody, maybe? I feel like I've seen him elsewhere before. He's not with the, he's not on Dynamite. But they bring him in occasionally, I think.
Yeah. Cody, Crossroads.
I love this. The storytelling here was awesome. That's what I really liked about it.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Multiple crossroads. I mean, the blood is a little much, but I get why I understand why they did it.
Man, it's a dusty go-to.
It didn't bother me.
And this when they hug.
My brother.
Oh God! Like Matt Jackson covered in fucking SpaghettiOs. My brother.
I know.
I will say, I love how his voice cracked. Take the shit out of it. I don't need a partner. I need my older brother. That was funny. Remember when they had that match and he said if he lost Kip Sabian, he'd retire?
Oh, that's so stupid. Why would you even say that? You know he's not going to lose.
What? I thought he was going to lose. Clean as a sheet.
The Kip Sabian, sure, in the first round of a tournament.
I thought he was going to lose. My older brother.
I forgot about Fight for the Fall.
Wow. Yeah, I don't really remember that show. Fighter Fest is more familiar. I didn't
Fighter
really.
Fest was in June. He said next month at Fight for the Fallen. The Fight for the Fallen show was in July. He messed that up.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Oh, I need to team up with you next month." It wasn't next month. It was 2 months later. Because in June he faced Darby Allin. Remember?
Yeah. Well, maybe shit changed. But yeah, I don't really remember Fight for the Fallen too well. I remember Fighter Fest more. And then I saw a glimpse of. I only saw a little bit of Fighter All Out. I saw Full Gear, and I think I saw a majority of what's it face? What was the last one? Revolution. I remember that stinker, freaking Jake Hager and Dustin Rhodes. Ugh.
Yeah, you were watching it. I was out that night, so I watched it the next day. But you were texting me like your 2 cents on the show, and you said you caught most of it.
Yeah, I caught most of Revolution. I honestly forgot about most of the pay-per-view. I remember the tag team match. That match was really good. But yeah, fucking smooching Mrs. Hager in the front row. I'm like,
oh, Catalina, whatever her name is. Yeah.
I was like, why?
Yeah. There's the brotherly hug. I can't imagine Cody going back to having brown hair at all. I just think he just looks better with the blonde. I thought it was dumb initially, but he just looks better with it now.
Remember when he didn't have that dumb tattoo on his neck?
Better times.
I remember at first when I saw it, I was like, that has to be like a fucking henna. Like, it has to be fake, right? Brandy shitting all over it was hilarious, though.
And the fact that Brandy outright admitted, hey, I hate it, is great.
She's like, yeah, the tattoo's so dumb.
Listen,
like, yeah.
if I got a dumb tattoo like that, I would hope Alexis would be like, yeah, that's stupid. Or, you know, honestly, well, I'm of two minds of it. I would hope that she would say it's stupid and, you know, just be honest and not lie. But at the same time, I would also hope that she would convince me out of getting it in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, that's like if you got the Russell Rand radio tattooed right in your neck.
Exactly.
Honestly, do it. Oh, honestly, get it.
I should get a fake tattoo on my neck and like, hey, I got the Russell Rand radio tattoo. You're like, what?
I would never talk to you ever again. I would delete your number in seconds.
I don't mind. I mean, she has a lot of tattoos. I don't mind tattoos. I would never get one personally, but you know, it's that.
That's kind of up to your preference.
What'd you say?
The thing is, like, I feel like I would only get one if it's something like that I really, really like, or something that like really meant something to me.
No, yeah.
I feel like a lot, like, I wouldn't be able to, like, if I didn't really like it, it'd be like after a month of having, be like, why the fuck did I do this?
That's what I mean. Like, I don't want to. Not that I regret stuff anyway, but. I don't know. I just don't really feel the need for it. For me personally, like it's not like, oh, you know, I hate him in general. Like,
no, if you want a tattoo that's up to you, but myself, I would have to like I said, love it for me to get it.
Yeah, exactly. For me, it would have to be something actually meaningful.
So
What'd you say?
I said I know plenty of people have either one tattoo, 50 tattoos. Like it's up to you. Like if you want those many tattoos, go for it. But
yeah, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, go back to the famous line. Whatever makes you happy.
Exactly.
If you want to get pregnant, good for her. She wanted to just, hey, she like I said, if she's fine with it, more power to her. It's her decision.
Yeah,
I just think when people think it's like they're like, I think it's dumb. Okay, that's your fucking opinion. It doesn't matter to them.
I do think. I mean, it's a trivial topic, but I'm glad. I think Brandy took the right approach because she was like, listen. I hate the tattoo. I think it's dumb as hell, but I'm not going to tell you to not get it because you can't do that. You're not going to tell someone what to do and what not to do with their body. I mean, they can have their opinions as to whether it's whether they like it or not.
if anything, you just hope when you say it's dumb, like really dumb, they just like listen to you.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, you know what? Do whatever makes you happy. Hope you make the right judgment, but you do you.
Exactly. Oh, that was so funny. I remember when MGF like beat the shit out of the guy with no legs.
I remember that. Dude, I forgot a lot of these people are even in the match.
Dude, that
Tommy
table
Dreamer.
spot with Luchasaurus, like the table had no give to it. That's when he was with Penelope Ford, Joey Janela.
Jimmy Havoc using the stapler on Tommy Dreamer. Classic.
Oh, I hate that shit.
Tommy Dreamer, I love Tommy Dreamer, but he's everywhere. The guy is just a cockroach that will not die. He's still in Impact main events in 2020. Like, stop.
God's brutal. ECW Invasion Round 30.
They do it all the time. Impact does it constantly. They have Rob Van Dam still on the show, which is fine. But they brought in Sabu a bunch of times. Sandman, come on, just stop.
Sandman and the New Jack documentary was amazing.
I love when they got him at the bar. That was so funny.
Yeah, I'm like, who the hell is this? And it was like, I'm WWE Sandman. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Sandman. I saw his entrance live a couple of years ago at some indie show with 50 people at a high school gym, and they played the song, and it was amazing. Even in person, he was dumping beer down some guy's throat, and I'm like, wow, this is sick. I can only imagine this in the Hammerstein Ballroom for ECW One Night Stand.
I will say, I liked his ECW one. I don't like the Enter Sandman. I like this the bam, bam, boom, bam. I like the lyrical one.
Wait, you like the lyrical one more or the WWE one?
The WWE one.
Just like Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman's not even a song. It's like who the hell is this guy? Jack White.
I've never heard of this guy before. Wait, is that Chris Van Vliet?
I don't know who the fuck this is.
I've never seen that guy before.
I think he introduces the title, right? Bret Hart?
Yeah, that's why he's here. I forgot about this.
Yeah, this is incredible. I think that guy was on double. He was on a countdown, and they had him come out.
Oh, okay.
Remember they had that road to Double or Nothing, and then they had that Jack White now guy. He was like, "Oh, they're gonna announce the title on Sunday." This is just a weird segment.
I don't know if I remember that. I remember the Road 2 stuff. I don't remember him though.
I don't know why why did they get Bret Hart?
Why is that guy wearing scrubs? See the photographer? He looks like he's wearing scrubs down on the side.
Yeah.
Why?
Bret Hart looks like he can barely walk.
The funny thing about Bret Hart is that WWE, this is anyone else. They're like, well, you're never coming. Vicky Guerrero showed up for one commentary thing on Dark. They never invited her back. But Bret Hart shows up at their first pay-per-view. He's on SummerSlam 3 months later. They'll just do anything.
Well, it's because it's the name value.
I know it's because of the name value, but it's just funny.
It's like Vicky Guerrero. Who cares? She's just annoying as fuck too.
But she was like, oh, they just banned all their guests from my podcast. It's like, dude, they can do whatever they want. You're lucky they gave you talent in the first place to interview, you know?
You're lucky they give you a job. You're terrible. She had literally nothing to do with WWE, and then once Eddie died, all of a sudden she was all over the show.
What'd you say?
I said the worst part is when Eddie was around, she was never on the show, and it was just basically a company sympathy fucking hire, and then she somehow got big, and then it was all over the show. I don't even know, she was just annoying too.
Mm-hmm.
Bret Hart. I'm assuming Sting was supposed to show up with the title, not Tyson. Or was that always supposed to be Tyson? Sting was just going to come in as well.
I think it was always supposed to be Tyson. I mean, Sting is yet to be announced officially. I don't think Sting. That's just a coincidence. I think it was always supposed to be Tyson.
Who cares?
The report I read said that he was actually at this show. He was backstage or in the crowd. I mean, people would have noticed that. But they were like, oh, man, he loved it, and he always wanted to be a part of it. So then they brought him in for this one. He must live in the area or something.
Yeah, I think he's probably around there.
I mean, didn't they film Hangover in Las Vegas, and he was in that movie 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bret Hart. He's just rambling on.
I love when MJF just goes off on him about the Hall of Fame thing. Down.
Fucking love Hangman.
What'd you say?
Love Hangman.
Kid's been the biggest Hangman fan forever.
I love the shirt that Alexis got for Hangman, like the wanted poster. It's a good shirt.
It's a very good shirt. I was gonna get it when we went to Dynamite before it got canceled.
I mean, it got rescheduled. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen in August personally, but I don't think if they're gonna not do SummerSlam, I don't think they're gonna do Dynamite. It seems like the mayor over in Boston. I mean, you know about this more than I do, but he made it sound like they're not gonna be doing any show like anything there until like Labor Day weekend, right?
Yeah, he announced that anything that's run by the state or the city won't be until Labor Day.
Oh, okay.
Kind of left it open for other things to be shown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we'll see.
Also, we're just us and Connecticut were the last two states to like do any kind of opening up. So they're being
really?
pretty cautious. So yeah,
we're starting to open up some stuff.
Yeah, we're like next week is like today. Like they open up some like the more things that were open up. They open up a little bit more, but like still you still can't get a haircut. You still can't get like your nails done. Like that's still like they said gyms, bars, and like something else. I think it was
7
casino.
weeks or something, right? I saw
They're
Throwback
not going
tweet
to
about
open until
that.
June 29th at this point, and that's like if the other things go as planned. So it could be
Okay.
even longer. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then like restaurants. I think the restaurants like sitting in at restaurants around that point as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
jeez.
think around here for some of the restaurants, it's like 5 people at a table, but you got to be 6 feet apart, and you can only stay 90 minutes. I mean, you don't eat for more than 90 minutes anyway, but
Yeah, unless they fucking takes forever to get the food out.
yeah, that's their fault.
Maxwell Jacob. Dude, Wardlow with him, I feel like was the perfect pairing.
It's a great pairing. I like Wardlow a lot. I thought he looked really good in that Cody match a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, what?
I think I'm ahead of you.
What?
The fan thing. Did you get that or no?
I didn't even hear what you said because you were dying at
The
it.
fan thing when he goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
look, fan, what? Look, a fan, watch out!" Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, I just saw it.
Oh man, I died.
I totally forgot about that.
Dude, it was so funny. We were dying.
I love his
so
promo for Fighter Fest. It's just so funny. That mother of yours whose basement you live in, she swallows. Just saying.
Is this when he had a hangnail or no?
What?
Did he have a hangnail at this point or no?
No. Love that interview I sent you, like at that Chicago fucking news station, and just ripping women. The two ladies on it, wicked pissed. I sent you that, right?
Yes, you did. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I remember you sent me an MJF interview, but I'm trying to think which one it was. It was like one of those morning shows that they were trying to promote the Dynamite. Yeah,
ripped into them. Yeah.
They didn't get the character. Like, all right, and he's always in character. Like the Van Vliet one was amazing.
Too bad they can that guy in 2 weeks.
I feel bad. I love Chris Van Vliet, and it just makes no sense. Like he's a very valuable asset. I would love to know more as to why. He's not the type of person that would like speak, talk bad about him or whatever, so he ain't going to probably come out with the full story. I guess he just made it sound like, when I met him a couple months ago, he made it sound like they just don't really need me. I'm like, that's bullshit, but whatever.
Well, I mean, they don't really do too much backstage interviewing, I feel like, so...
Yeah, they were trying to find their footing with the first few shows, and maybe they felt like they needed it. But then to come out with an announcement saying they signed the guy, I just think it's shitty, because it's like, okay, you didn't, though, because you're not using him.
Yeah, I think he was there for All Out, and besides that, guy was never using it.
He wasn't at All Out, but he was at that first Dynamite show.
No, yeah,
He was on the first Dynamite show because he interviewed Jay and Silent Bob at ringside, which was dumb, like it was stupid. And then he introduced the Rock and Roll Express. Remember that? And they got blasted by the Santana and Ortiz on the stage.
Yep.
He was there for like 2 seconds.
Poor bastard. The worst was I totally forgot about this until we just rewatched it.
I know. This is a great segment. I'm
It's
glad
a
they
waste
got
of
MJF on
time,
the show.
honestly.
What'd you say?
Just a waste of time.
It is, but I love MJF, so I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
They could have shaved 20 minutes off the pay-per-view by doing this another time. Biscuit.
I died that news one. He's like, if I want to sit, I'm trying to think what the fuck he says. I can't think of it. It's something. If I want to see a woman laying down on her back, something like it wouldn't be in an airport, and they get so pissed. It's so.
That was
funny.
that was so funny. It was such a great line. Jungle Boy here.
Like,
So
what would you do if you saw a woman laying down at an airport covering up the? Okay, why the fuck's Jungle Boy there?
Yeah, I know this is random. I think they set up a 4-way for the following month. That's why.
Well, yeah, if I wanted to see a woman laying on her back, it wouldn't be in a hotel and in an airport. The two women like horrified, me dying.
That was amazing. He was such a dick when I met him back in
Oh, it's
August.
Jimmy Havoc.
Tried to ask him for a shout out for your wedding. He's like, got $100. I'm like, no. He's like, all right, get out of here, Mark. Didn't think so. See you, Mark. I was like, so funny.
If you listen to this, you're probably poor. I hate poor people. I die. That Chris Van Fleet interview, like, not that I put him on the map, but they're so funny.
It was so funny. What really put him on the map was BTE. Because we watched...
Right here, Broken Skull Creek, or, like, Suplex Creek, whatever the fuck Cody's thing is. 3!
What?
When he does the backflip into the fucking pool and he does the perfect 10 thing.
Oh,
that
his
one
roller coaster
hilarious.
when he goes in the roller coaster.
And then the fucking Farrah stuff was so funny.
Hey, Dub. Hey, Dub. The Jericho interview was money, too. That was so funny.
I love his dog Pharaoh like it's my own. I wouldn't want to take the dog home because it has a good family already. Brandy? Love Brandy to death. Some of you might call her a white trash whore, but me, I wouldn't say that. This shit's on her.
I know.
Oh, God, I love MJF. I got my MJF shirt. I was going to wear the fucking Dynamite.
Ooh, I know. I had my Orange Cassidy shirt. I was mad. Oh, well. Soon enough.
Oh, God, JR's going crazy. I will say, I love the world title belt. I fucking hate the women's belt. I really like the tag belt, too.
Tag belts are nice. I like the women's belt. I like the tag belt, the world belt. The women's is just atrocious. It looks like a toy. It looks like a toy's toy. That's how small that thing is.
I wonder what the TNT one's going to look like.
I know. I'm actually very curious to see what that one is.
Can't wait for the 6-man tag one, too.
I think MJF is one of those people, though. I just don't think he would work in WWE in terms of like what they're allowing him to say. He's already said it. Like he would never go there because of the script, and I completely agree. I think he's just perfect in AEW.
Oh, definitely. He's perfect because they let him do what he wants.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
The fucking Young Bucks.
He was in the news a couple months ago for like making fun of a kid or something. Like someone asked him for a picture, like a kid asked him for a picture, and he said no. And then like the news ran with it, like, oh my god, what an asshole. It's like, dude, he's a heel.
Who, MJF?
Yeah, MJF. This was a couple months ago. If you look it up, I don't know exactly what you look up, but it was at like a Comic-Con or something, and he's like, no, kids, scram, like I'm out of here, or I'm leaving.
I think he like flipped him off too.
That's what he did. He flipped him off, yeah. And the news was freaking out, like, oh my god.
Dude, the guy's a heel. He's supposed to be hated.
Exactly. Have you ever watched wrestling a day in your life? What are you, John Stossel? Jesus Christ.
Oh god. John Stossel. That's sissy boy. I just love like the dynamic, like was it Eddie Mansfield?
Mansfield, yeah.
He was like, I was trying to help the boys out. Like, were you?
Yeah. He said that he was, and I get it, but it just wasn't the right thing to do. I get where he's coming from. Cornette's just amazing. I love Cornette all over those specials.
He's funny. He's funny.
He's an idiot, and he does say a lot of dumb stuff, but I still laugh my ass off at some
He's
of the
an
stuff he says.
idiot, but I die when he says, quote you.
Especially when he parries Vince Russo and Kevin Dunn. Have you watched, like, there's, like, Jim Cornette compilations on YouTube of, like, him
I've seen a
Kevin
ton of
Dunn.
his stuff, yeah. I've seen a ton of his shoots. They're so funny.
Kevin Dunn was going off on him. He goes, I find you tiresome, Jim. And it was like, there's, like, the fucking beaver thing. And he's like, well, you beaver tooth motherfucker. Like, how dare you talk? It's classic.
Yeah, he has some good ones. I've seen a ton of his shoots. They're really funny. You beaver tooth fuck.
Oh my god. You know, I was going through a couple days ago, I tweeted out the video of the impersonation that I did of the Kevin Owens 15 years promo on the anniversary of it. And I was going through my voice memos, and I found one. And I'm like, what is this? And it was like, it said Russo. It said Mr. Mar Russo. I'm like, that's weird. What is this? So I listened to it. It was me doing the impersonation of Vince Russo at like that WCW pay-per-view in 2000. Like the finger poke of doom. He's like, Hulk Hogan, he took his ball and went the hell home. You'll never see that piece of shit in my ring again.
I love that one.
And they put your name instead of Hulk Hogan's in the thing.
And I swear to God, you'll never see that piece of shit ever again. So good. Mexican. Remember when they were special? When he goes down, I love when Phoenix puts down a knee and he spits the water.
I know, it's a great entrance. I love the flyer too. This was the first
Remember
time I
that
heard the
Marcus
music.
screaming Animal?
Animal. I'm like, dude, sit
So
down. I'm
bad.
tired. My feet are barking right now. That's all the walk. We did a lot of walking that weekend. Jesus. And we were only there for 48, not even, like 36 hours. Love the masks. Dame some Pentagon Jr. Pentagon set him, yo. Remember when Ray Phoenix had like a crush on Melissa Santos? Good times. I miss Lucha so much. It's such a great show.
Lucha was such a good show.
Very good show. And without that, I would have no idea who these guys are.
Oh, yeah. I'll be like, who is this, Callisto?
That's who I thought. I'm like, oh man, he's Kalisto's like he's like Lucha Underground's Kalisto. And then I would watch the show. I'm like, dude, that's not even fair. He's so much better than Kalisto, and not even in terms of booking either. Kalisto's all right. He's pretty good. Ray Phoenix is just one of the best in the world. That's like, it's not even funny.
Yeah,
And you said
Kalisto.
that in the show too.
After the Lucha things from Kalisto, the guy's career was done.
It really was. I mean, the guy was done before that when he lost the U.S. title to Del Rio after like a day. It didn't help that.
Yeah. They just tried so hard to get like the next Rey Mysterio, and it's like, dude, just let it go. Oh God. It's not that I don't like the Bucks. I like the Bucks. I just think if you've seen one of their matches, you've seen them all. They're almost
No, I agree. What'd you say about Kalisto? The Del Rio thing?
I said they just tried so hard to be get the next Rey Mysterio. It's like, dude, the guy's not close.
Oh yeah, no. That was around the time, I've said this before, like when they were really pushing for a new Latino star. So like they brought back Del Rio, they pushed Kalisto, they were pushing Sin Cara again. Like they were really trying to get those guys over because Rey Mysterio had just left. Thankfully they have Garza and Andrade now. Angel Garza.
Fucking love Theory as a disciple. Oh my
I like
God.
that. I like that. I forgot to talk about that with you on the show, but
I was watching on Raw, and I'm just like,
what were your thoughts on when they beat him up? What were you thinking? You were like, oh man, back to NXT, or like, eh.
Well, that's what. Remember, we were discussing that last week when we were talking about it. We're like, yeah, they probably get his ass kicked back there the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they showed him in the corner, it was similar to what happened with Murphy. I'm pretty sure that's the same thing
thing.
happened with Murphy.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden he like got up. I was like, honestly, he fits with them way better than he fits with Garza and them.
He needs more disciples, and I think he fits the that group well. I have this as a question on hashtag. It's a weird thing because hashtag is already up by the time this video is going up. Yet you haven't listened to it because we're recording this after I already filmed it, but it hasn't been published. But someone asked me a question about how, do you think Ruby Riott would be a good disciple of Seth Rollins?
Bae, I feel like she fits the mold good.
I think she fits well.
Hey, no one
anything else with her.
Yeah, I'd rather have her than Liv Morgan, so.
What, you mean the millennial? The directionless millennial? That's her gimmick.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hers.
She's talking about her mom, and Alexis was like, did her mom die or something? I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, that promo she cut on Raw.
I had that Pentagon Jr. shirt. That's funny.
Alright! Phoenix!
How many more matches are there? It's just, I think there's like 70 minutes left or something.
It's this match and the main event.
Damn, that's a lot. I think the matches just go long. That's why Jericho and Omega lost like 30 minutes.
I think this match is like 25, and I think Omega and Jericho is like 27 or 28. That's the one thing I will say. At the end of the show, I was just like burnt out at that point.
What'd you say?
I feel like the crowd was pretty burnt out for Jericho and Omega, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
absolutely. That's why they weren't as hot for it.
Well, yeah, because Cody and Dustin was 22 minutes, this match was 25, and then the main event was 27.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a whole hour back to back to back. Like,
It's a lot. It's just a lot.
and that Joshi women's tag match got 13 minutes.
Shorter is better. I said this with I think Revolution was like 4 hours, dude. It's like, really? Does it really need to be 4 hours? Like Money in the Bank, 2.5 hours? Perfect. I love that show.
Shocked. I was shocked by that.
Me too.
Like, all of a sudden Otis won, and all of a sudden I saw the credits, I'm like, wait, that's it? My dad's like, see ya. I'm like, I think it's over.
Like, see ya, GSM.
I'm like, I think it's over. I'm like, wow, that's refreshing.
Very refreshing. I'm glad they did that. I think AEW, I hope Double or Nothing doesn't go past 3 hours, even though it probably will, but I hope it doesn't.
I mean, I think that main event will be well over half an hour.
What, Moxley and Lee?
No, the Stampede. That Stampede
Oh,
match.
yeah, that'll go a while.
I expect Moxley in that match to go long, too. Let me just click on some stuff here.
They're just big on match times. It's like, just, dude, short and sweet wins the race here. You don't need to have the longest match. Jeez, those Saddle Meters are loud.
They were so over.
This is so over. I love
Seattle,
Lucha. Is that him? Yeah. The guy.
Yeah, Jericho and Page was 27 minutes at All Out. Full Gear, let's see. Moxley and Omega was the main event. It was fucking 38 minutes, but the title match with Jericho and Cody was 30.
Jesus.
Shit. And at Revolution, let's see. Moxley and Jericho was 23 minutes.
That's just crazy. Dude, that's way too long.
But then earlier in the show, they had Bucks and Omega and Page was 30 minutes, and MJF and Cody was 25. They're just such long-ass matches.
You don't need to have them so long. I love the glove thing with Pentagon. I love when he does that.
Yeah, I just feel like we haven't seen him on the show in so long. And it's just so, like,
Yeah.
I don't remember. Like, when was the last time is he hurt? He's just not around because of COVID? Like,
I don't know if him and Pentagon must not live together. One of them must live in the States. One of them must live in Mexico.
well,
Have they opened up travel yet between borders yet? I have no idea.
Not yet, I don't think so.
So Phoenix must live in the country. Because otherwise Pac would have been here by now. I think Pentagon must live in Mexico. Phoenix must live in America. And honestly, when we met the Lucha Bros a couple months ago, Alexis and I, Phoenix's English is a lot better than you would think. Like, much better than Pentagon's. Pentagon's is good. Phoenix is like, you would never know. It's amazing for two brothers.
He has like Angel Garza English, you're trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. He has...
Angel Garza's English is, like, literally spot on. Andrade, yeah, goes.
He's the Angel Garza to Pentagon's Andrade in terms of his English. From the little that I spoke with him.
I mean, I understand why people, like, thing is, everyone's like, oh, like, they don't push these type of stars. I do think that language barrier is a big deal. If I can't understand what the fuck saying? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna pay attention.
I mean, it is a big thing because
It's huge.
you take Seth Rollins and you put him over in Mexico. Yeah, he would do well, but like not everyone knows English, so he has to either learn Spanish or have like it's the same thing. Like that's why I don't think Okada would ever work well in WWE. I mean, he could, but the issue is that they would never push him at that level. And another thing is that he would need a mouthpiece. The guy's English, I just don't think is very good from what I've heard. So, it's the same thing. Like, if they moved Mr. Marceau over to Japan to do, work with their version of the Red Sox to do what you're doing now, it would just be incredibly difficult because you don't speak Japanese.
Exactly.
Like you're still
Why do you think Kenny got so how Kenny got so famous? Because he must know Japanese.
He must know Japanese. Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's a good question. I think just because he also was there for a long time, so he just kind of worked his way up. And he's really good in the ring. That's the thing, though. If you're good enough in the ring, especially over in Japan, you can kind of get away with it. With WWE, it doesn't matter if you're good, bad, or indifferent. The company doesn't care. If you don't speak English well, they don't give a fuck about you, for the most part. They either don't let you speak at all.
The crowd their way, it's like you're useless, basically.
They just don't care. So, I mean, like, they might... they'll see that and they'll either not have you talk at all or have you ramble in Japanese all the time because just to show people they don't speak the same language. Like, it's just what they do.
That's why Selena's with Andrade because his English is so bad that they need her to talk for him.
Yeah, I know, but that's just a good pairing anyway.
Yeah, I like their pairing.
I'm glad of everybody they tossed Theory just because Garza. I like Garza with Vega, but he should also be he should mean more now than he does. I mean, he lost to freaking Carrillo in that gauntlet match. It was embarrassing. Like, how, dude? They were just pushing him a couple of months ago.
The worst part about that whole thing was he got his ass kicked by Bobby Lashley, and then he beat fucking Garza and Theory. Like, that was the worst part. I wouldn't even care if he beat him. He literally got his ass kicked by Lashley. "Quote unquote," should have lost from there. They beat both of them. I'm like, okay, these guys are buried. Like,
Jesus, my super kick. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Oh God. Verse 619, amazing. I'm trying to think. I don't know if Phoenix ever faced Rey Mysterio and Lucha. I don't think so. I know Pentagon did once and lost. I don't know if Phoenix ever did that.
I forgot Rey Mysterio was in Lucha.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's what really rejuvenated his career. He had a great run in Lucha. He was so perfect for Lucha.
Dragon Azteca.
That guy.
Whatever happened to that guy?
The watermelon mask guy.
Yeah, he was all green.
I've seen him recently. Wait a second. Is he in Ring of Honor? Yeah, I think he's in Ring of Honor right now. I know I saw his name. I'm like, holy shit, that was Dragon Azteca. I had no idea. Yeah, he's in Ring of Honor. I think he's more like 1/3 of their 6-man tag team champions or something. It was funny, though. They were promoting him as like the next big star over there, and it just wasn't working. And they like paired him with Rey Mysterio just to get him over, and it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
Like, Matanza Cueto was obviously Jeff Cobb. Like, I had no idea who Jeff Cobb was, but, like, it's crazy when you think about it. It's two totally different people.
Ray Horos.
Oh, yeah, Ray Oros, yeah.
He said it MLW, it says.
Oh, is he in MLW? I've seen him in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he goes into Ray Oros now. This is in MLW, and he was in Ring of Honor, so.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was good. But Lucha had a lot of... I want to go back and watch the series.
It's
King
something.
I mean, Ricochet. Introduced the Ricochet. Mil Muertes I loved. I'm shocked he's not doing more. Like, the fact that he didn't get any jobs here in the States is just astonishing to me. The guy's huge.
Yeah.
He used to work for Impact like a long time ago. And was like Abyss's brother or something. What'd you say?
He was with fucking Abyss.
He was with Abyss.
Brother with fucking. When I was watching TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Doesn't he have the blood coming out of his mouth?
Who, Pentagon?
No, freaking Mil Muertes. He used to come out and like blood come out of his mouth.
Oh, I think you're talking about the match right now. Yeah, I know. He used to have the blood come out of his mouth.
And he was like the originator of the Monster Ball with fucking.
Yeah.
At first I was like, this guy's pretty good. Then I looked up and saw that he used to be Jesse Medeiros. I was like, Jesus.
No, yeah, I love.
But
There's
no,
a
yeah,
lot of good people.
Inferno was good. Phoenix.
Pentagon. Sammy was there towards the end. They had who else was there? Yeah, Johnny Mundo was great. Ricochet was great.
Sexy Star.
Sexy Star didn't give a shit about. Yeah, he was there. Eva Lisa, I really like Eva Lisa.
Let's look at GSM Morada.
Fucking hate Sexy Star. She's a piece of shit. They had Eva Lisa. I loved Eva Lisa. She was actually, when we went to that Evolve show when we met Rhea a couple months ago, she was there before. Like, they ran like a women's wrestling show before Evolve that night, and she was waiting on like a couch by the walk-in area, and I was like, oh my god, I know who that is. And Lex is like, oh, take a picture with her. And I'm like, nah, I just, it was one of those weird things, and I didn't want to bother her, be like weird, so I never did. But yeah, she was there, and she was always one of my favorites. Katrina was there, and she was good.
He else is in Lucha again? PJ Blah.
PJ Blah. Yeah. Well, obviously in Helico, Jack Evans.
Yeah, and Helico, Jack Evans. I'm trying to think who else they had. They had so many good people.
Their roster was
Willie Mack.
Willie Mack was there. Yep. Willie Mack, Del Rio for a cup of coffee. Ooh. Brian Cage.
Yep.
I'm not a man. I'm a machine.
Yep, Cage. Jeez, they had fucking stacked.
El Tejano was boring as hell, but they had a lot of good people.
Who?
El Tejano. He had a cowboy hat. He was there for a while.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Texano. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just like a jobber.
He was
He
like
had,
Del Rio and drugs.
Remember when Io and Kyrie were on it?
Yeah, no, I watched that match back a couple months ago. It's kind of crazy.
And Io beat Pentagon. Love it.
They should sign that last woman just so they could bring the Black Lotus tribe back. They had Big Zeke there for a while too, for a little while.
He was going to lose tonight. LOL.
What'd you say?
I said too bad he was going to lose tonight. LOL. Excalibur's losing his load.
I know. He's like, ah!
I mean, that was a sick move. It
was
so
cool.
Like...
Cut her! First cutter of the night. Just kidding. It's not.
Look you!
Or Gale.
Love yelling Paige Turner. Paige Turner.
He loves the Paige Turner.
I don't think he was going to do her hair. He did the blow.
Thought I was going to do what?
We're here.
We're here. There's a bug on my skin. I'm sitting outside right now.
JR has no idea what's going on.
Love me some JR, but at this point he's like utterly confused.
Yep. That's PJ Black.
I'll be so glad.
Remember when the Nexus were over and they got buried?
Can't believe who's the last one left. David Otunga, he's still there.
Heath Slater. I got fired.
They got canned.
What's on tonight for both shows?
Rhea and Io.
Lol.
Dexter Loomis versus Roderick Strong.
Who cares? I hate Dexter Loomis.
No, like I'm giving him a shot.
Yeah, it's classic GSM.
Well, Alexis loves him, so.
Oh.
Dynamite, I know they're doing, I mean, again, this is all irrelevant by the time this goes up, but Arn Anderson versus, and not
Jake.
versus, him and Jake Roberts doing that thing, Matt Hardy versus Sammy, MJF versus Marco Stunt. They stacked the show. There was like a bunch of stuff on tap I saw. I think Orange
Is
Cassidy.
Damian Priest facing Finn Balor this week? Is that...
No, they're not doing the match this week, I don't think. There's something on tap for NXT, I thought. I can't remember. It's a women's match. Was something with the men? They did Riddle and Thatcher already. They're definitely doing Io and Rhea. I don't know if they advertised anything else. Oh, man.
Can't wait for Io to lose.
Yeah, she's definitely losing.
Wow, GSM's not even being optimistic. Just
No,
say
I'm
that.
not. I just feel like I texted you a day or two ago. She feels like the Bianca in this feed where it's all about Rhea and Charlotte, and she's just the third wheel, like the filler, like to kind of get them to where they need to go. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see it happening that way. Since Io and Charlotte ended in a DQ, I don't see this ending in a DQ too.
Yeah.
I was such an idiot though. I asked in the interview. I said, "Oh, what are your, how excited are you to be facing Io for the first time in NXT this week?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm ready for Io. I don't think she's ready for me." And then we go, blah. And she goes, "Yeah, we actually faced off for the first time in the Mae Young Classic." And I'm like, oh, fuck, I completely forgot about that. So, thankfully, my question was worded to make it sound like they're facing off for the first time on NXT and not facing off for the first time ever on NXT, if that makes sense. So, I completely forgot, though, Io knocked Rhea off of, she bounced her from the Mae Young Classic in 2018.
Wow, be a better journalist.
I can remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday, but I can't remember like an important match on the Mae Young Classic.
Wow.
She said she wants to see it brought back. I mean, obviously.
Well, yeah.
She talked a lot about Tony Storm per your question.
Oh, I fucking love Tony.
Loves Tony. She's talked about how crazy like the NXT UK crowd is too, how excited they are and stuff like that. She's like, I swear, you guys go outside and practice your chants because you guys are always excited.
Yeah, because that's the way they are.
Yeah, I know, they're just crazy
Like,
like
that's
that.
the way their sports are over there. They chant like a lot, especially in soccer and stuff.
She
It's
brought up,
chanting.
yeah, exactly. That's just their culture over there. And it's not like, oh, wrestling's only there like once a year. Like that's just how their culture is. They're just way more.
You see NXT UK, they do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They say just a culture.
Yeah. She brought up the chant. You know that song from it's that old Muppet song, Mana Mana Dun 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 Dun. You know that song?
Can't say I do.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna say she brought up a chant that was like that. It's a Mana Mana song. That's what it's called. But she talked about how so the fans did a chant called Dakota Kai Dun 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 Dun, and they were chanting and shit like that. She was dying about it.
Dakota Kai.
She said she wants to face. I asked her, who do you want to face? And she goes, Tegan, because of what happened in the Mae Young Classic, unfinished business, of course. Dakota, and Reina Gonzalez, only because they're friends and they used to team together. So, like, most people probably think, like, why the hell would you want to face her?
I literally, if you hear that, I literally just eye rolled so hard.
That's why. Whatever happened to Mercedes
I think
Martinez?
Reina Gonzalez, like, in her role now is good, but, like, in the ring, she's still big.
I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. She's been there for a couple of years. She has barely improved. I hate to say it, but she's one of those Aaliyahs that has not improved. Leah is terrible. How much sense did it make to have Aaliyah help Chelsea beat Xia Li a couple weeks ago, and then Aaliyah loses to Kaden Carter?
Yeah, I think they're trying to just tell the story that she's going to be, like, a new member of the Robert Stone brand. But, like, who cares?
Who
I don't
cares?
know. I think that's just, like...
What happened to her and Vanessa Bourne? Push Vanessa, not her.
Yeah, I don't know. But,
Yeah,
like, the
Vanessa's
whole
not
Robert
sure.
Stone thing is, like, it's like a glorified, like, loser faction. Uh-oh. What is he in there?
That
Slice
was.
bread! Ah!
Oh, you're behind me. I forgot.
Wow, GSM.
That's a really close near fall. This was a great match. It just went on forever.
Yeah, I think.
The issue with the Young Bucks, I feel now, is that they've already faced every team
Everyone.
imaginable, dude. Like, they've beaten the Lucha Bros. They've faced Paige and Omega. They beat Ortiz and Santana. They've
kind of faced best friends.
kind of faced best friends. They've done it all at this point. Private Party, they've already faced. Like, and they've only been here a year. I know it's their company, but like, when you feed every tag team to them in such a short period of time, then it's like, what else is there to do with them? It's okay, the Revival, but then beyond that, what else do you do with them?
Yeah, I was just saying, I think that's what their kind of next thing will be with the Revival.
I feel like that's probably why they're killing time with them right now. Because they're waiting for a Revival.
But then, like you said, what do you do for them there?
Exactly. Revival versus Butcher and Blade next week's AEW Dark main event.
Yeah, people need a fucking cooler expectations on that. I think
They need
people
a
are
reality check.
If anything, Sean Spears should be like the perfect example. for them. Everyone was blowing their pants because he was coming to AEW and he's done literally jack shit since he's been there.
And he should do more. I like Sean Spears. I like the theme song. I think he's got a great look. The Tully Blanchard thing's a little random, but he has potential. The Cody match, it was all downhill after that. Like, just put the guy in a mid-card role. The whole tag team thing was so ridiculous because they had him lose constantly. The losers.
Yeah, I didn't really get that at all.
Yeah, I didn't understand that whatsoever.
I think he was just basically trying to find him a tag team partner because everyone else had.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess. The thing is, dude, they've been doing it for a long time, and they stopped it because the whole COVID thing, but, like, they were doing it for months. Like, just cut to the chase. No one's begging. No one's... Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Was it the Canadian Destroyer on the fucking ring apron?
Amazing.
And another one?
I
Fucking love a spot pass.
Lucha Bros are money.
They're so good. Too bad
I don't even remember what I was saying, but they're just money.
After this match, it's downhill since. After their biggest win, they have not been... After they went all out, that was like their biggest win. They fucking haven't done shit since.
Yeah, they've lost ever since then.
Then they did like a random, like Phoenix was winning singles matches, and then like nothing really came out of that.
Nope. They've done. They're like.
Remember Pentagon lost to Chuck Taylor or Trent? I can't remember who it was.
It was Trent. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you lose to Trent? I like Trent, but like that's so stupid. It's ridiculous.
Oh.
Phoenix is amazing. Phoenix is a star. He's stretching the bones over here. AEW shirt. What are you sitting at the edge of your bed or something right now?
No, I'm sitting in a chair.
I'm sitting in a chair.
Oh, if you're going for the power driver.
Jesus. Wait, what does that do to Matt Jackson? Watch that move. What does that do to Matt?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Hurts his knees. Love that slenton though.
Chef's kiss.
What does that do to Ninja? Literally stretches his knee out. That's all it does. Not even.
Just hurts his knee.
I'll be right back. I'll take a leak.
All right, cool. Jeez, fucking freezing out here. Put on a jacket. My phone storage almost full. What the heck? What the heck is going on? It's 63 degrees right now. That's not too bad. It's not Vegas weather, but it's all right. Oh my God, super kick. For anyone who wants to join in on the fun, we are at... I don't even know. I mean, it says 174 minutes, but I'm not sure what that means. Let's see, 30, 50... Probably 50 something minutes. It's almost over, I think. Jesus, super kick. Oh my God.
I missed the finish. I was gonna die.
No. Not yet. This goes on for a while. Oh my God.
Oh, Superman!
Excalibur creaming his pants.
Yeah. I have no idea.
What'd you say about JR?
Is it JR? Like, I have no idea who any of these guys are. He was pretty tough at first. He had no idea who anyone was. I remember heard people say when he used to call, like, when they had the New Japan shows over here, he had no idea what was
Oh
going
no,
on.
absolutely not. They weren't good. Again, I love me some JR, but his commentary on those shows was putrid. I think he knew who Billy Gunn was, and that was about it.
He knows Jungle Jack, that's all he knows.
Jungle Jack. Well, he did. He clarified that when I interviewed him because I asked him about it. I was curious why he called him Jungle Jack, and he made a pretty good point. But how when he eventually becomes a single star, he's not gonna be Jungle Boy forever. So, I understand.
I mean, I don't think he's ever gonna be a star, but yeah.
Like as a Luchasaurus, Luchasaurus might be a star, but
No, I honestly don't see anything. I hate Luchasaurus. Oh, I just think the way that he works just feels so, like, robotic and clunky.
okay.
Whenever he does his kicks, especially, it just looks so robotic and just slow to me. I'm like,
Hey, he's got a master's degree.
who cares? I don't know. I understand why people think that, but I don't know. I don't see it.
I understand.
There's a fucking dinosaur, like.
There's an actual dinosaur.
It's better than a vanilla midget, I know that.
If it was in WWE, they would have brought in Brodus Clay as the Funkasaurus as his brother.
Oh, breaks the arm! No sells the broken arm.
I know you were pissed about that. You were so mad.
I mean, because in Lucha, your arm's broken at that
No,
point.
like Sexy Star was off TV for like a month with a broken arm. Famous
Oh!
P. That was close.
Fucking
Famous P
love
was never
that
seen
move.
again.
Love that, like, I don't even know what you even call it. It's like that, like, suplex pile driver.
He was like,
Yep.
oh,
Yeah, I love that move. I don't even know what it's called, but I love it.
Great move.
Cero
Lucha
miedo.
Bros. Cero miedo. God, dude, the temple chanting Cero miedo gave me goosebumps.
Temple.
I had to have a change of parent. I had to change of pants on standby whenever Pentagon came out. Cero miedo.
Sounds like you're saying PJ, man.
Melissa Santos' announcing was amazing. She was great for that show.
He is the devil, PJ.
He's the devil, PJ Black. She's like a 20 times better version of like Charlotte Caruso.
God, I fucking hate the Meltzer driver. It's such a game.
Oh wow, they won with that. Forgot about that. I just don't understand why they continue to call it the Meltzer driver. Isn't that stupid?
Dude, Dave Meltzer, dude.
I think it's for some reason. I think they called the Meltzer driver maybe because of Dave Meltzer's dad who passed away. If so, that's kind of cool. But otherwise, they're just dumb. If they do it like, oh, give me 5 stars, dude, like, then no.
Well, that's what he does.
Yeah, he does. He always gives him 5 stars.
He's at 6 stars out of 5. Also at 6 stars now.
Yeah, I know exactly. It's like 7.5. I was like, dude, calm down. It's like, what's even the point of the 5 stars if everything's gonna get 7?
Yeah, pretty sure he gave you like 6 for the tag team match at Revolution.
He did. He called the greatest tag team match in all time of space, of course.
Imagine if it was in the Tokyo Dome. Holy shit, it would been like 10 stars.
You know, dude, I think that guy might be on suicide watch right now. With there being no New Japan shows at the moment. Shouldn't say that, but seriously, like it's that's a little too dark. Sorry.
Classic Jesus. Oh, fucking God. Hey, if it didn't happen at the Tokyo Dome, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Oh my God, this was like the AAA fucking tag titles, and everyone's like, whoa.
What'd you say about the AAA tag titles?
This like match was like the AAA tag titles.
I don't even know. I guess it was. That's why I was surprised that they won. I'm like, why would they win? They were mad. I mean, they did end up going over in the end, but just.
And they also lost again too. Just lost that 6-man with that rando guy.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Oh, Laredo Kid. Yeah, he was from Impact. Yep. At the Fighter
Then they
Fest
lost.
show or something.
Yeah, and they lost to that mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Lucha Bros. Mexican. Still.
Meet us in the ring. Woohoo.
Ooh, flippity dippity.
Flippity dippity.
Oh, doing their flippity dippities.
There's so many flippity doodahs in this match.
That's what it was. Flippity.
Main event time.
What are we doing? I just remember Moxie coming out.
You do or you don't remember it?
I do. I'm like, that's Dean Ambrose.
You piece of shit.
You piece of shit. Then I yelled, your wrestling sucks.
That's Renee Young's husband. That's Renee Young's husband.
Seriously? That's Renee Young's husband. I think he went with a Judas effect, I think. I was like, what?
Yeah, he won with a Judas effect. They were trying to get it over, and he still wins with it. I don't think anyone's kicked out of it yet.
I don't love them move. It just seems silly, but
I don't mind.
it's like
I appreciate it.
It's like the Big Show fucking knockout punch that I'm like.
That was dumb. And I get it. I could see that comparison. I understand.
It's
That's
just like
not
there's plenty of guys that hit someone with an elbow. It doesn't beat them. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like Kenny
Jesus,
Omega just
fall asleep.
what?
So that yawn almost put me to sleep. You hear from Alexis yet, or she just fucking?
Oh no, yeah, I heard. Yeah, she was texting me. She wasn't home when I called her. So
Wow.
I was like, I can't get her in now. I don't think so. Nah, yeah, I
What's
can't
on
get
the
her now.
What's on the agenda for tonight?
What's she doing?
What are you doing?
I usually I go over to her house and we watch both the shows together. When we're recording this on Wednesday. I mean, this is going up on Saturday. But usually I go over to her house and we watch the shows together. But I mean, I've been trying to limit going over. Unfortunately, just because of all the COVID thing. I mean, it's not really my choice, but it is what it is. I understand. So what we're doing is, since tomorrow, her birthday's tomorrow, so we're spending the whole day together tomorrow, and then Friday we're going to a drive-in movie theater in the area, and then Saturday they're having a picnic at her house. So when you guys have your Marceau picnic on Saturday, we're having a picnic at her house for her birthday, like her family and shit.
Driving movies. Yeah, they're starting to do it around here, but they say even if you're in your car, you have to wear the mask. Like this.
That's dumb. I'm not doing that. Absolutely not.
I didn't. Like, if I'm outside the car, okay. But if I'm in my own car, like, why the fuck do I wear a mask?
Absolutely not. I don't understand that. People who drive with the stupid things on it just.
I love when I see people driving with it on. I'm like, why are you wearing it? You're in your car
I don't
by
get it.
yourself.
You're in your car, dude. That makes no sense. It's so stupid. But yeah, no, they haven't said anything about that. But like a couple weeks ago. What were they playing? A couple weeks ago, they played Invisible Man. We already saw that. That was actually the last movie we saw in theaters. So, I mean, it works out perfectly because her birthday's this week. But, like, last week, they played Onward, and we already watched that. I mean, I would see it again. She loved it, but, they're playing that. And then this week, it's 2 movies, but we're leaving after the first one because she's got to work early on Saturday. But the second one is Jumanji 2, which we've already seen anyway. Did you like it as much as the first one?
Have you seen it?
Yeah, no, I saw it earlier this year. I liked it. Didn't like it.
The Rock playing as Danny DeVito fucking bothered me a ton.
No, I think they would have been better as their original roles. I appreciate.
Oh my god! Just like the issue I had with it that was my biggest gripe with the movie. Like he's just like, The Rock's voice and like his seriousness. Like I think it was like a shot at comedy and just didn't work. Mm-hmm. Like him just saying like Spencer and like saying like a Boston accent just bothered me to no end.
Yeah, I know. No,
So I was glad like at the end when they switched with the Chinese girl, I'm like, thank God.
Aquafina, yeah.
I was just so glad that they switched with that because like him being like Kevin Hart, I didn't mind being like the older guy's voice, but The Rock trying to do the Danny DeVito fucking bothered me to no end.
Yeah, he was better as The other guy last year.
Play your own voice, yeah.
He's the
Lionheart.
timid guy. Oh, I forgot about this.
And then he did the list.
Mm.
Yeah. He does the Y2J, then he does the list.
Oh. That's funny they could do a list of Jericho, and that's not copyrighted by the company. Oh, the jacket. Forgot about that one.
She's someone building a deck next to your house?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been hearing power tools for a while, so.
It actually is. That's exactly what it is.
Is that my buddy?
No. It's to the right, not ahead. No, they were building what's it called? The roof on the gazebo over there.
I miss my friend.
Good people.
Is anyone in your family sick from COVID, or are you just trying to be like extra precautionary?
Just precautionary. You know, no one I known has gotten really sick at all. My stepdad wasn't feeling well, and we think that he had it a couple months ago, back in March. But other than that, we haven't really. Actually, no. My brother, not my younger brother, my older brother's girlfriend actually had it, like confirmed, like she tested positive, and yeah, she tested positive, and then she was fine. She didn't test again to see if she was negative. She just felt fine, and then she tested again after feeling bad again, and she tested positive again. So she probably just never lost it. But other than that, I don't know anyone who's had it. Thankfully, luckily, you know.
I mean, Molly was really sick in like late February.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I feel like a lot of this stuff. Like, I feel like some people may have already had it. Like I was, actually right after I saw you, I was really sick. I was sick the day that we went to Raw. My throat was killing me. Like I had no voice. In addition to yelling my head off at the show.
Yeah.
I had a really sore throat, and then I was sick for like a week or two after that. And Alexis was sick.
Molly had it like in like mid-February. She was like really sick. I only saw her like a couple times.
Wow.
But she did not feel good at all. And then it was like right before COVID. Like it was actually a big thing. She's like, I don't know if I had it, and like just kind of, who knows?
Exactly.
So if she had it from there, then I know I was sick in February too, but it was like kind of like your normal cold.
Yeah.
Maybe a sore throat that lasted longer than normal, but besides that, I didn't really. Wasn't too sick, but it was like a little bit. It was a little bit after she was sick, so I don't know if I had it, then it just wasn't as bad. Like I don't know.
It's possible. Some people have had it, and it's just like a normal cold. So, like, I mean, you could have. You never know. You know, I'm not really sure.
It's kind of one of those things. If you get like checked for the antibodies in the plasma, and you had it, clearly you would have had it at some point. But no, I think it definitely people had it before, and then just kind of. Once it started getting kind of serious and a lot of people got it, that's when it kind of gained traction.
Started to take more notice of it, I think.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I love his theme.
It's a great theme.
The one when you hang out. It feels like the best.
Now you're ready for this.
I will say he still doesn't seem as special as he should be.
Yeah, but he's gotten better over the last couple months. I think the Pac match really did it. That helped a lot. Paige has helped a lot. He wasn't special here at all. He's fucking that guy.
Shit, I didn't even know who he was.
Jay's like, who is that? Is that the same loser whose match they called over in Japan a couple years ago? Oh, man. They've been doing work all day. It's funny. No, not funny, but like a ton of people on my street had that apparently a couple of months ago. It's like, shit.
Uh-oh.
Like multiple people on our street. It's crazy.
That's not good. Yeah, someone I worked with, right before we closed down, some girl that
you told me about that, yeah.
I don't really work directly with her, but she worked in the same department. Like, I definitely passed her before and like probably could have gotten it from her. depending
Yeah,
on like how.
possibly. They
So like
just
she had it like right when we shut down, and like she actually got tested and shit. But then
tested
that was like,
positive.
yeah, she tested positive. She just said like, I mean, she said she like felt like she had like the flu, but like wasn't like to like the extent of like the extreme cases of it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I mean,
Makes
she's
sense.
over it now, so that's good. But
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna not take it seriously, but I'm also like when stuff starts to like slowly open up again. Like I want to take her to like a restaurant or something. I mean, like my whole thing is I don't think, and maybe I'm wrong because I think other states have opened stuff up and they've increased cases and whatever. I don't think they would open stuff up if they really thought there was that strong of a chance of you getting it. Like I just don't think that just doesn't make any sense.
Clearly, if the thing is, it's just one of those things. Is if they open it up, clearly more people are going to get sick. It's just kind of what it is. I just think at this point, it's past where the initial rush was, when like hospitals are like overflowing of
Yes,
people. So
absolutely.
now, yeah, they can open up and people are going to get sick, but like the hospitals shouldn't be as like overpopulated as it was at first.
Yeah,
Like, at
like
first they're like, you don't have to wear a mask. And I think that was just because they want healthcare officials and stuff like that, healthcare workers to be the first dibs at it. And then once they kind of got supplied that, then they're like, oh, you should wear a mask. Like,
yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. Like you heard for a while. Like it goes back to the news too. Like the news was all over Italy, and like, dude, Italy's terrible. Like everyone was dying over there. And then once it gets better, like you don't hear anything about Italy. It's like what happened?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think there's a new hotspot, like a new country. I don't know, maybe Brazil or something. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I feel like they just also hit the buzzwords. They always just try to, like, they always try to go with deaths. Like, oh, another 20 deaths today, but they don't say, like, 20,000 people recovered either. They just always
100%.
say deaths.
100%. You gotta. I was looking at an article. I was trying to find how many people recovered from this thing since it started. I had to scroll to the bottom of the article. It's like, dude, terrible journalism.
Well, it's because, it's fucking.
Oh, I get it. No, I totally get it.
Negative stuff. The negative stuff gets more clicks than the good stuff.
I know.
So they
But
never show anything good on the news.
yeah, but I think we need some of that stuff though, because some people just read the negative stuff and they don't go look. They don't go out of their way to look for the good stuff. So they just think this whole thing is like the end of the world, which it really isn't.
Yeah, I think if everyone just wears their mask and just wash their hands and just be like cautious, you should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, just gotta take it slow. I mean, it's definitely gonna take longer.
I got used to wearing the mask too, so I mean, I don't even care about wearing the mask.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think my whole thing initially, I thought this thing would be over a lot sooner because I saw China's cases. Because this when this thing all started over here with the whole lockdown thing, China kind of was on the back end of it, and they reported 80,000 cases. That's fucking bullshit. There's no chance they had 80,000 cases. We have like over a million here. That makes no sense.
No, it already came out that they lied about it.
They had to have lied by hundreds of thousands, if not millions, because there's no way that we have over a million cases and they have 80,000 cases and they have like 4 times the amount of people that we do. You know what I mean? Like that just mathematically, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think they realized that because it started that they fucked up, so they didn't want to make it
Absolutely.
seem like
But just gotta ride it out. That's all.
just at this point, we're just waiting. I would say at this point, just be precautious, and then hopefully once there's a cure, then everything will go back to somewhat normal.
I just don't think it can't really get worse after this. I mean, everything's closed, so the only thing that can happen from here after hitting rock bottom is just going up, like just reopening stuff slowly and at like X percent capacity and whatever.
Yeah. Sure, God.
His chest is all red.
Remember when we first said that he'd be terrible as the first champion?
I did say that. Yeah, I will not shy away from that. I thought it was ridiculous.
Pull that archive up.
Nah, I will not. I won't deny it. You're absolutely right. We did say that.
I mean, I think we were both right there. I was like, that'd be so dumb.
Why would you put it on a former WWE guy? He's in his 40s, blah, blah, blah. And then it just turned out to be the best thing that could have ever happened.
That's just because he was so over.
He's so over, but he's also very entertaining. He's just, I don't know, Omega, no, he's just not there yet.
It's like I said, also just like the name value.
Sure, name value. The name value, but he was also doing, like, he's reinventing himself, the bubbly stuff, like that whole thing, so I just think it worked, but, I just think it was one of my favorite world title runs in recent memory.
What about Jinder?
Fucking agent there. They were that killed SmackDown. SmackDown never recovered after that. Oh, just sprayed him in the face. Jinder's was terrible. I can't believe there's people out there who legit go, Jinder was a great champion. Like, what fucking show are you watching? That just... Man, you just gotta be a special kind of dumb to say that. I'm sorry. I mean, everyone's entitled to your own opinion, including if they're stupid, but, like, that's just wrong. You're just wrong. I don't care what you say. In no shape or form did that reign benefit anybody. And not even himself. He went back to being a loser afterward.
Yeah.
Because he peaked.
I think it was one of those things that they tried something new. I mean, I applaud them for trying something new, but they just should have pulled shoe when it clearly wasn't working. The hot hand was
and taking their time with it, too, I think. The Nakamura thing was annoying. But taking their time with it, because they put literally, RJ, he went from losing to Mojo Rawley to winning the WWE title a month later. Like, you just can't do that. Like, for example, I'm trying to think of, like, okay, I'm a big Zack Ryder fan. You know I love Zack Ryder. If he went from doing nothing like a month ago, and instead of getting released, he won the title instead of Drew, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this is great because I love Zack. I would say this is incredibly stupid because it came out of nowhere. And you're conditioned to think that he's a loser. I was conditioned to think that Jinder was a loser. I think he could have worked as a mid-card champion, but at this point, I'm just so sour on him, I just don't want to even see that.
Yeah, I've kind of been there, done that with Jinder.
That and the fact that he's just beyond boring. I've never
he's
seen
not a good wrestler.
No, he's not. He's just very boring. I mean, whatever. I'm not even going to say he seems like a nice guy because he doesn't, but I don't know.
He doesn't seem like it.
He just seems like he'd be a massive dickhead. I've never seen like, oh man, Jinder's my idol. It was so nice meeting him. I've never heard that from a single person.
You haven't met the right person, then.
Like, I guess not.
Who knows? Hey, he can save more. He can help underprivileged kids on the weekend. I don't know.
Hey, maybe more power to him. He ain't no hero like Shad Gaspard. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he just bores me to tears, though.
Yeah, it bores me to tears, too.
What have I become? Yeah, I think this team with Paige has really helped Omega get kind of...
Help both of them, though. Help Paige, too.
Yeah.
Because you, I don't know if you soured on Paige, but you didn't really care about him when we went to Dynamite as much, I feel like. No, actually, you like the Sheriff, but I feel like you just weren't as hot on him as you were in the beginning as you are now.
I feel like at first they had pushed him very well, and then it kind of just fell off in there, and then he just kind of just like, not in purgatory, just like didn't really have like...
He just didn't have it at that point, because they were just having him win for the sake of winning, and he wasn't like, there was no character there, so because he's lost so much to Pac and Jericho and people like that, it's like there's a reason for me to care about him, because he's gone through like these troubles, and he's had the drinking problem, So, it's a good redemption story, and people just love the cowboy shit stuff, so.
Yeah. Cowboy shit. Yeah, now you can't drink from the crowd. You're like, what are they going to do now?
I know, that sucks.
That was really over, too.
That was really over. That's why I love that tag team match, because they were just so over. And it was a natural story. Like, was it the greatest tag team match of all time? Probably not, but, like, it is one of my it's one of my favorite matches in AEW so far.
I mean, if it happened in Japan, holy fuck.
That's the surprising thing. There was a tag team match about maybe 2 years ago between the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, or it was Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. Kind of the same thing. Kota and Kenny had issues, and they reunited, and Omega was having issues with the Bucks. They had a tag team match over in Japan about 2 years ago. People went nuts for it. Omega, or I think definitely Meltzer gave it 5 stars. I'm surprised you didn't call that the greatest tag team match of all time, considering that actually happened over in Japan.
Yeah.
Anything with Omega is bound, or not really Omega, but the Bucks is bound to lose his jizz over. It's ridiculous. Jeez, sounds like a gunshot going off in the background.
I thought it was Hernandez. I thought it was LAX coming by.
He was on the show not this week. He was on the show last week. Though I forgot to text you.
Supermax? Fucking love that thing.
But this whole You know what? This whole Shad thing, rest in peace. It reminded me how great of a theme song Crime Time used to have. Yo, 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 yo. Shad
It's
Gaspard and
Shad
GTG.
Gaspard.
It's crime time.
In Brooklyn, bringing the hood to you. So they're fucking. They're so racist.
It's so racist, but it's such. I loved Crime Time.
Bringing the hood to you.
Yo, 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 yo. Shad Gaspard and GTG.
JTG Crime Time just cracked shorty. Like it's like that like honky white guy.
The first intro
White
they
boy
had.
just got served. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what was the first one they had? Is like, check your
Crime
jaw.
Time, like help him lose some weight. They're stealing his wallet. He died.
Oh my
That
god,
table.
that was an insane bump.
Or when he just did the toupee out of the ring and he had the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Was he supposed to break it? Cause like, what happened there?
What am I? He is the cleaner, Kenny.
The cleaner. I remember when New Day one time on SmackDown about 4 years ago, New Day or Big E had like a broom and he was cleaning up the SmackDown side. He had like an Elite shirt on. I don't think he had an Elite shirt on. They would never allow that. But he called himself the cleaner because he was brushing up around ringside or something. It was amazing. That's when they were kind of like off and on feuding. That was before the Elite was like as relevant as they are now. Oh, you ready for this?
But no, he definitely come a long way. I feel like, at least, I don't know, he didn't seem that special on this show.
Who, Omega? No. I think that, I was going to say the fatigue was a factor, and it was, but like, he didn't feel special on the next show, or the show after that, or when he faced Moxley the first time, like,
I hate that match. I know you didn't mind that match.
I enjoyed it. I liked it. I know you didn't like it.
Yeah. The
I know,
fucking,
you're
like,
not the only one.
bed of, like, barbed wire, I'm like, okay. What?
Is Isaac Yankum DDS?
But no, I don't know. I just did like that spot alone. Just like I'm like, yeah, that's too much.
No, I agree. Do you see that someone sued them? Not sued them, but like they had to pay $10,000 for like going to Extreme or some dumb shit like that to the state of Maryland after someone complained. Like what? It's really stupid.
No, I guess like the athletic commission like like fined them for like too violent or some shit.
It was after someone complained about it.
Like, yeah, that spot just like I don't know. It, like not that it bothers me, just like I feel like it's just like a little much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the biggest hardcore wrestling fan, so I mean, I've seen so many Monster Ball matches. I'm pretty numb to those, but where is he cutting down the whole house?
This is ridiculous, dude. I was out here like maybe about a month ago. So they're straight ahead as the neighbors that you know, over to the right, or you know that's what's going on right now. And on the like diagonal, someone was building like a house over there, and I was trying to record hashtag outside, and I couldn't because it was just way too fucking loud. I'm like, dude, you gotta chill out. You gotta stop.
You're trying to build a brand new house. Geez, I'm trying to record a show. Like,
And it's like, dude, stop being so selfish. Let me record my show.
But no, yeah, like those mod, like even the tag. I don't mind like a tax spot. Like I don't hate those. No, the bed of barbed wire just like makes me just like, don't love
Ridiculous.
it.
I'm not
I've
a big
seen a
barbed
physical
wire fan.
attack so many times it doesn't even face me anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. Actually,
Like,
give me 1
here
second. I got
here it comes again.
What?
Like him on the tax every fucking Monster Ball match.
There's no tax in the ring. Oh, you talking about the match? I talking about now.
No.
I was like, I don't remember tax in this match.
Loved Monster's Brain and fucking Killer Relic. Great stuff.
Killer Relic. What? Wasn't that Gold Dust?
No, Black Rain was Goldust.
Oh. Who the hell is
Yeah,
Killer Relic?
Relic was fucking Johnny the Bullston Boy.
Jesus Christ.
Love it.
Some of those years in TNA are just terrible.
And then he had his pet mouse Misty. Love it.
That's so bad. That's so
What do you mean?
bad. I'm gonna run inside real quick. Give me a second. I just got someone a
I just
question.
poop up. I'll be right here, GSM.
Come back. The kid's like gone. Whoa, what'd you say?
You said you come back and I'm gone. I just laughed.
Don't run off on me. I'll be right back.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Show us that much. Choose the corner.
Jesus, thought I was gonna miss the one-winged angel.
He doesn't even hit it.
No, he didn't hit it. I thought I was gonna miss it. I saw him setting up for it, and then he missed it. God, it's getting chilly out here. It's like fucking 60.
I remember, like, after the show, I remember when we were walking back, that fucking Mark ran into us.
Down this boardwalk you're talking right here?
When we were walking down the strip, yeah.
This one right here?
Yep, the fucking Vegas strip, baby. And I remember we were walking, like, behind MGM, and we were like, that match was good, but it was, like, 10 minutes too long. We thought
No.
match. The match was definitely dragged on. Just kind of, I think after those two big matches, I think at this point, especially, you could just hear it. The crowd was just dead at this point, just, like, so exhausted.
It was a long weekend. It was a great weekend, but it was exhausting. When I got home, I was dead. We got up. You woke me up at like 3:30 because your flight was earlier than mine.
I think we're still around the same time because we went to the airport together.
Well, I went to the airport with you because you paid for the hotel, and I can't stay there without you. I mean, that's when we went together. I could have probably slept another 2 hours, but I mean, I can't stay there. And we split it, but it was in your name, so I couldn't leave.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it was. I think I got delayed maybe for an hour when I got to Chicago, or yeah, I think.
I forgot you did connecting flight. I don't know, that's after issue.
I know. Well, I knew what I was getting into, but just the times, it was worth it, but it was just a long weekend.
You think? The longest weekend of my whole life. This was coming out. This is just a random story. No, this is WrestleMania 30. That weekend was such a fucking brutal ass weekend. So like WrestleMania, we go to WrestleMania fucking Sunday night. It's a fucking long ass show. Next morning we like wake up to leave. We had like early flight out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I remember we get there like 6:30. Fucking flight's delayed like 2 hours. We're like, fuck. Around. Get on the flight we had a connecting flight. It was from there to Atlanta. Get to Atlanta like 10:30. Our next flight to Boston was like 11 from Providence.
Jesus.
We're running through the Atlanta airport. Get to the hotel. We like stop at like one of those like quickie marts in the airport to get food. We're starving to eat breakfast. Get to the gate. Flight canceled. GSM. We're like, what? They're like, oh yeah, the plane's broken. We have no other planes, so we have to wait for the next flight from Boston to get here. So we just wait around. I don't think the flight got there until like 3. So we waited, we just sat around the airport for like 4 or 5 hours. Finally got on the plane. We get home around like 6:37. I fucking get to my house, then grab all my shit and drive back to Endicott that same night. I didn't get to Endicott till like 9, and I'm like, okay, I'm fucking over this shit.
I remember you told me about that because you got back. Didn't you get back before Raw ended or no?
Yeah, I got to Endicott at like 9:30 that night. So I had been up since like 4, and I was still up at that point. I was traveling all day. It was brutal.
Yeah, I know you were on the show the next day with me, and you were talking about that and how bad it was. Was that the flight that the Godfather was on in Nash? Not Godfather. You saw him in the streets of
We
Bourbon.
saw Kevin Nash in the airport.
Oh, in the airport. I thought he was on your flight. Or no?
No, he was in the airport. We saw
Nah.
him. I was like, Big Diesel.
Diesel. Honk, honk. The Rock.
The Rock burying him. Love it.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back. It's nice. It has its pros and cons. I mean, obviously, I don't want everything to be closed, but at the same time, though, I am a little relieved that there's nothing going on because it gives me an excuse to not go to any shows right now. So it does suck, and I feel bad because we were supposed to go to New York on Friday for Alexis's birthday. Like we planned that months ago. She
Where in
loves
New York?
New York.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
So where in New York? New York sucks.
She loves New York, like New York City. Like she's like just walking down different streets and stuff.
Wow. The city sucks.
I know. I mean, listen, I'm not the biggest New York City fan either, but she likes it. She went to school there, so I get it. But obviously, we can't do that. So that being said, though, I mean, we didn't. Dynamite was canceled. We were looking forward to that. We were supposed to go to a concert last week. Couldn't go to that for her birthday. We're supposed to go to. We're going to an Impact pay-per-view actually in New York City a month ago, and that got canceled too, of course. So it sucks, but it's been nice staying home though, and not having to go anywhere because it would have been busy as shit. Fuck, because my older brother just graduated from Syracuse, but obviously they didn't have an in-person graduation. It was like online or whatever, so we did it here, and we almost had to drive to Syracuse. Then it would have been worth it, of course, but we didn't have to do that. We had to go. Like there was just so many. There's a lot of stuff going on. Like this is usually like the busiest time of the year with that type of shit. Thankfully, everything was canceled, so it's like it's a bit of a breather for right now.
Those college graduations get brutal.
It's a lot.
Done or what?
What'd you say?
I remember from mine, I'm like, can you wrap this shit up or what? I remember it was like a hot day, and like it was like the heat was just like radiating off that turf at Endicott. I'm like, all right, can we just like wrap this thing up? I'm ready to go.
Well, you were a trooper because you not only graduated, but the next day you came to pick me up at this very humble abode to go to Extreme Rules, which is 4 years ago. 4 years ago this week.
Back home that night. Oh my god.
4 years ago from Friday. Good times. I graduated at Endicott 3 years ago today, from the 20th of May, and that was again great. The senior week is nice, and I feel so bad for people who didn't get senior week, graduating this year because it was awesome, and I'm not a big fan of that type of shit. But like it was nice to be on campus in the morning.
Senior week.
I enjoyed it, and and then it was just busy though. I felt like I was about to die by the time I got home. So much walking. My legs were about to fall off.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what we did. We went to Boston one night. We went to like a Red Sox game.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I know the school did that type of thing. I didn't do that shit. I just kind of did things on my own, but some stuff with Connor and shit like that.
Yeah, there was like a yacht club dinner we went to.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, they did that same thing. I think Connor did that thing.
We did like a lobster bake thing at school.
Oh, God.
I remember after that, Murphy fucking went back. We went back to our mod, and Murph, we were drinking all day, and it just didn't sit well with him. He was puking in the bathroom.
Was he in his boxers again?
No.
Murphy, baby. That's your favorite story.
What were we watching?
No Way Out. No Way. It wasn't No Way Out.
Yeah, No Way Out like 02, and the kid was thrown up in his undies.
It wasn't No Way Out 02. It was the Raw the next night. You remember that? Because that was like the first Raw that you remember watching as a fan. When they ran over Hogan and like the monster, or Hogan ran over Rock and the monster.
Rock with the 18-wheeler, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. That was fun times. Good times.
Kid was in his underwear throwing up my sink.
Jesus Christ. That shit was terrible. You know who like one of the last pictures I took with was when I was at Endicott?
Yeah.
God, it's gonna fucking bother me. What's his name? The guy from the cafeteria. What's his name? Dennis. I have a picture of me and Dennis and Connor. Love it. I almost framed it.
I fucking love Dennis. I have a picture. I think someone showed me. Either I saw it. I think someone showed. I think Cam sent it to me. Maybe it's literally me in a Seth Rollins shirt, the Star Wars one with Dennis.
Yeah. That's so funny. I want to go back. The thing is, again, another thing that got canceled due to this whole thing. But we were gonna go up. I was hoping to go up in early May, a couple months ago. I was planning on going up around this time to go back to the campus just to show Alexis because she's never been there before. And then, I mean, that kind of got canceled. But it would have been nice to see Dennis. I don't know what days he's there, but I haven't seen him since I graduated. I would like to see him one more time.
Yeah.
I only went there once. I know you got to go back a couple times after you graduated. I only went once for like a panel thing like 2 years ago, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
I want to take
a
Alexis.
few times I saw you. I came up a few times. I saw Cam.
Yeah, I went golfing one time with him too.
Yeah, so I went up a few times. Me and Molly. I went to one of the ladies I worked with at the Red Sox. She was like my internship advisor at Endicott. She went there, so I went back like I think it was last year. Last year we went and like I went to like the internship class. We kind of just like talked about what we do as for work and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So I went back then, and then me and Molly have gone there a few times as well since.
Yeah, that's why I want to take Alexis, because she wants to go really badly. And it's a nice campus during the springtime. It's a shithole, and it's winter, but it's snowing. But
I remember my junior year, so your sophomore year, it snowed so much.
Yeah, it was your junior. Yeah, dude, we've been over this before, but like, I was contacting Doc Wiley every day, telling him to get the cable back up and running so I can watch Raw. Oh man. Every Monday it was out.
Doc Wiley to fucking fix the cable.
we had power but no cable for a while there. Like every Monday it was happening, and I was pissed. But yeah, we had like no school that semester. It was great.
Yep. It was like 2 weeks in a row that we had like Monday through Thursday we didn't have classes.
Yep.
Every class on Friday.
It was so bad. That was a fun semester.
It's a good time.
I did. You weren't on the show for like the longest time because I had to record it from the dorm because the place was locked because everything was shut down. So you weren't on the show for the longest time.
I used to like miss I don't know how your classes were. I remember a couple of years in a row, like one semester I'd either have class only Tuesdays and Thursdays, or just Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It was fucking amazing. The Tuesday Thursday one was perfect because you literally have a 5-day weekend every week.
I know. And I miss when we went back up to Massachusetts. I think before we visited you for Dynamite. I think when we went back up to Salem, it struck me how much I missed the place. I want to go back to Salem, but just Massachusetts in general, and just being at Endicott. But yeah, my class schedule is just amazing. Every year was, aside from freshman year, I think I had 8 a.m. classes every day. But other than that, I had an amazing schedule.
Yeah, back then 8 a.m. sounds so bad, and now I wake up at like 7 o'clock.
I know. You still go to bed at the same time though.
No, I used to go to bed later in college.
Really?
I used to be like midnighter. I used to be a midnighter. Like in college, I stayed up to either midnight or like maybe 11:30. Now I'm strictly 10:30 guy.
Dude, you would be in bed sometimes before I would even have my laptop in my bag ready to walk out the door. You would already be in bed. I'm like, at RJ, so like, see you, GSM. Cam's like in his room.
I literally walk in my room, just change and get in bed.
I'm like, all right, see you, dude.
Well, yeah, because sometimes you fucking take your sweet ass time getting ready. I'm like,
the best part is that it took me 30 seconds to get back to my dorm because you were right there.
Yeah. Jericho won. Who cares?
That came out of nowhere. It's like, again, it probably should have ended 10 minutes ago.
But yeah, that match just kind of ended dead. And then doesn't he get on the mic and is like, thank me, and then...
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. I forgot he was doing that gimmick for a while. They kind of stopped doing that.
Kind of ran its course.
Everyone knows they're waiting for something. They're like, there's no way that's the ending of the pay-per-view. There's no way Jericho wins and that's it. I think people were kind of surprised that Jericho won. I think a lot of people were expecting Omega to win.
I kind of thought that. I kind of thought he'd be the first champion.
Yeah, I think, many of us did. And me too.
The truth is in my mind.
It's a great song.
It is a good song.
I was looking forward to singing it in person when we went to the show, but unfortunately it's not happening.
Alright, it hasn't officially canceled yet.
Yeah, right.
Never say never, GSM.
How would that even work? So let's say it's sold out. Would they be like, all right, we can only have 25% capacity, so the first 25% of people who bought tickets can go? Like, how does that even work?
I don't know.
You know, that's what we were wondering. But we'll see. We'll see. It'll happen. We'll go to Dynamite again at some point. I'm glad we got to go last year. If we didn't go last year and then this one got canceled, I would be way more frustrated.
Yeah, same.
Plus, we got to go to Double or Nothing, so... Really, it was just an excuse to go see Mr. Marceau up in Boston again.
Yeah, exactly. More boring.
and then go to McDonald's beforehand.
Yep.
Keep the tradition alive.
Seriously, that's a Mr. Marceau GSM tradition. Wherever we go to wrestling, should stop at McDonald's somewhere.
Love the Mickey D's.
I remember after Philly, it was like 2 a.m. we went to freaking Mickey D's in Connecticut.
Yes, I do remember that. We went inside. We didn't just go through the drive-thru. We went inside. I think I had to go take a piss. Yes, I do remember that. That was amazing. Kid crashed as soon as he got back to my house.
Oh, God. Good times.
So many great road trips.
I remember we went to Chicago and that guy, like that Uber driver, was like swearing that dad and his son were with us.
The old guy, amazing. Yeah, Casavio, whatever his name was.
The best Uber was definitely Philly with Fabio, though.
Oh, God, Fabio was the best.
When you saw Izzy?
Yeah, we saw Izzy. I saw Izzy over WrestleMania 35 weekend, too.
Oh,
funnily enough.
Yeah, so funny. We like see the van pull up and we're like, this is it, I think. We walk out, like, Graham? We're like, yeah, like, oh, different license plate. Like, yeah, my other car's in the shop. I'm like, oh boy, this should be good.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can find it because I have like all the receipts and shit. Oh, fuck you. Because it says their name too, so I'm trying to see if I can find it. That was the Sunday, I think. Was that the 17th?
No, we had her the night before. That she was takeover night, I think.
Oh no, I'm talking about Chicago. Yeah, Rita. Yeah, Dara. She was the one who was talking about like the guy who puked in his car, and then you were like, "Yeah, that happened to me a couple weeks ago." She's like, "Yeah, I hate people who puke in people's cars," and you're like, "Yeah, I just did that like a month ago." Like,
I did, yeah. That was brutal.
That's so funny.
The worst $150 I've ever spent in my life. That was for Molly's 25th birthday. She was pissed at me.
You told me that.
We like went separate Ubers and like they like drove by us and I was just on the oh Moxley.
Oh, there's Moxley. Guy's going nuts.
Yeah, I remember when they drove by and we were like on the side of the road walking. She's like, "What?" She called my friend. She's like, "What happened?" Like, yeah, he might have thrown up in the Uber. She's freaking out. And I got into the bar, but I was like covered in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I gotta go home. I stink." It was brutal.
Typical Mr. Marceau.
Fucking Moxley.
Craig goes nuts. I was freaking out. And then I'm like, RJ, give me your phone. Give me your phone. Give me your phone. You're like, dude, it's storage full. I'm like, delete shit. Delete shit. That was great.
Nothing was a bigger markout moment than when Samoa Joe won the title on the wall.
Yeah. Shoulder
still hurts.
Oh, I forgot he laid out the ref, too. Timing couldn't have worked out better for him to leave when he did, because this was like, they needed something like this to close out the show. I don't think this show would not be remembered as fondly as it was if it wasn't for Moxley showing up. I promise you that. It would have been just all in, too, if Moxley didn't show up. Oh, my God. I found the receipt. You know what that guy's name was from the Sunday morning trip with Uber in Chicago?
No clue.
First of all, the trip time was 58 minutes and 50 seconds. Remember you were like, dude, why do you do the, what is it called?
Fucking kid loves doing the Uber pool.
Uber pool. But we picked up, like 2 girls. And we picked up, like the dad and his kid. We picked up a ton of people. The guy probably just forgot we were in there. So it says 58 minutes. His name is Bobby. Like, he looks like a Bobby. I have the picture here, too. Wait. Let me see. This is the guy's picture.
Looks like a Richard.
Is it Richard? Yeah, it does.
Looks like a Richard that goes by Dick.
He was priceless. He was talking about like, hey, look at these dumb bras over there. I'm gonna flash their boobs on me or something. He was talking.
Yeah, I remember he was saying like one time he was like, yeah, one time a girl like passed up my gun. I'm like, hopefully they'll like sue me or something.
I'm like, calm down there, Buster. Keep it in your pants. Wonder where those chips are now. That'd be cool if they like auctioned them off or something.
Probably in the warehouse.
Yeah, probably. That's what I'm saying. Like, what warehouse would they be in? Probably near Jacksonville, maybe. Who knows? So you could see they taped down the poker chips because they knew that they'd be doing that, so they didn't swing out of the way.
Love when he hits him with the paradox shift.
Yeah, right on top of the poker chip.
Dirty deeds!
Dirty deeds.
Love calling the moves by the WWE one. Hey,
Neville! It's Neville!
he was my biggest loser for 5 years on WrestleMania.
He's another guy. I mean, actually, no. I was going to say he couldn't have stayed. I mean, he could have been fine because he kind of reinvented himself on 205.
I was going to say, the King of the Cruiserweight stuff was actually pretty good.
It was actually really good. He actually really did a good job of reinventing himself with that shit, and he wasn't a loser at that point. Now, he's basically doing that now. Holy shit. He's doing that now. Yeah, it's the attitude adjustment. Get it right.
F you!
I didn't know for the longest time that he got that from Brock. I was such an idiot.
Obviously, it's like the same move.
It is the same move. I never knew that for the longest time.
Jesus Christ.
Dumb Mark. Oh. This event has ended.
You must be a couple minutes before me because my
Yeah, I'm a couple seconds.
Wow. Oh, a great show, though.
That was a really good show. I'm glad we got to watch that back because I haven't seen that. I watched it back the next day, I think with Alexis, because she had the part that sucks when I'm not taking her with me was that she had to resort to the live stream on like the dumb, links and stuff to watch the show. So I had to send her those terrible links that looks like it was filmed on a potato because you kind of take that stuff for granted because, we have the network now, so we don't really have to do that anymore. With the AEW shows, you do. I mean, we don't because I have the account. But like at that point, I didn't get the show for free, so I sent her like all the weird links and whatever, and all of them crashed, and she couldn't watch the show. So we watched it back the next day, and it was good. And I enjoyed it just as much now as I did a year ago, and I'm glad. It was an amazing trip. I had a great time.
Same.
Hopefully we can either do it again next year or, we were eyeing. I don't think I told you this, but we were eyeing Chicago for All Out, but it's not in the cards. I mean. Labor Day is the year. I mean, that's Boston, but Boston and Chicago, kind of the same thing. I just don't think that's happening. So, if that's the earliest that it's going to happen, then, I'm not getting my hopes up,
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I do think is I hate how they have them like these big weekends because it's just more expensive for everyone. Like, they think it's better because like obviously you have the weekend off and stuff and more people can travel, but it's just more expensive stuff too.
Yeah,
it's more expensive you're traveling on Labor Day or Memorial Day or like booking stuff on those weekends than any other weekend.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
That kind of sucks, but
yeah, it's unfortunate. We'll see. I mean, nothing's set in stone quite yet, so we'll figure it out once this stuff gets closer. And okay, you can just leave it over there, thanks. Yeah, hopefully when it gets closer, they'll figure it out and whatever. And hopefully Dynamite. I mean, it'll probably be canceled, but if not, we can go and enjoy Dynamite in Boston. But this 4 hours flew by, Mr. Marceau. This was great. I know we were hoping to do this live on YouTube, but YouTube was giving me a lot of issues earlier, so I took up a lot more of your time than I was expecting. But this was awesome. Looking forward to Double or Nothing tonight as it goes up on YouTube. This is going up on Saturday, I assume. And, Mr. Marceau, this has been great. Hopefully we can do this again at your show, your choice. The longer you're in quarantine and at home, doing the Red Sox work from the Marceau compound, just let me know when we can do this again.
all right, sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, Mr. Marceau. Let me say.